am Sure Sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is Righteous representing for Omari. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am Sure Sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am Sure Sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the date done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Alright, greetings, good morning, welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Management. Today, I don't come to you as one who offers commentary for a game, but one who is going to break down the game and have a worthwhile, or should we say, a fruitful discussion today. Welcome to the platform. If this is your first time, it is good to have you as part of the I Am Sure Sports family. As usual, we encourage you to continue to hit the like button. For those of you who have not yet subscribed to the platform, go ahead and do so. All right, we are forever grateful. All right, think you want me to get some more light, and maybe I should do, get me some more light. All right, we're gonna have good, respectful, objective conversation. Everyone has a right to their opinion, even if you believe that opinion is wrong. Am I looking at the dark hole? Hello, people. Listen. In the meantime, share the link with someone. Hit the like button. Listen, I'm going to share it. Look, I'm going to share it. So do like me. Take up your phone. Find some of the persons in your contact list. Send the link to them. All right. I'm going to give you 1 minute to do that. All right. And then I'm going to get some more lights to make this brighter than ever before. All right. So go ahead and do that right now. All right, hope that was enough time for you. Hope that was enough time for you. How many persons did you send it to? Did you get any subscribers for the platform today? Listen, in everything, they say give thanks, because this is the will of God in Christ Jesus concerning us. We're not thankful for all things that happen in our lives, but in everything that happened in our lives, we give thanks. For we know that when you are connected, maybe you call him, I don't know what you call him, right? But he's my Lord and he's my Savior. And I know that because I have a relationship with him, not based on religion, here's what happened. All things will work together for my good. And so sometimes what I consider to be bad and negative, he finds a way of making it work for my good. So in all things, I give thanks, though I don't give thanks for everything. Want you to hear me. All right. Again, bless up. Welcome to the platform. Of course, 7 is the new number, as Manchester City dropped 7 yesterday. Right. Yeah. Manchester United. Yep. Dropped 7 yesterday. You understand me? Emphatic win it was. So 7 is the new number around town now. You want to look excellent, you have to score 7 goals. And today we'll be having on the platform the 7 agent who has been missing. Not the 7-star general, but the 7, not 7 heaven, but the 7 agent 7 is going to be back. He took a leave of absence recently, but he is back. So I have a couple of things that I want to touch. The first I want to say, listen, I think sometimes, because people see things happen, they don't realize the gigantic effort that goes into it, right? So the persons yesterday who made this happen, right? From Coach Minzy, Military Guna, Unseen was there, Shavan Pietro was there, and Manningsman, and maybe other persons work. All right. So, first thing you have to understand that this is just for love and respect for people. That's it. And one day you hope to reap the reward of all of this. So let me give you some example. Like most of us work, Shavan works, Unseen works, right? I work like non-stop. Coach Minzy works, and so does Military Guna. All right, so when these things happen, sometimes you have to give up work time to go and do the game. I don't think people realize that. Then you have to drive and bring equipment. All right, if you don't have a media pass, you have to purchase ticket. Unless you are some celebrity and you get like special tickets and passes to go in. All right, then you have to get there early to set up. All right, now, thanks to the persons at Independence Park, we were able to use the press, the black box at the stadium, right? There are other places that are available, but that's where we were assigned. It has a air conditioning unit that really wasn't working until in the second half. Someone came, I guess because people realized that we're doing a good job, they came to assist us. But by that time, we felt like it was too late and we never needed to actually have it. So for most of what we did, it was extremely, extremely warm in the position that we were in providing the commentary. All right, it's very far from where you can go and buy stuff. So to go and buy stuff, you have to come from there and come down from there and go. All right, and get stuff. So it's a little difficult. And I mean, then you have the fans, right? Because even though we are training other areas, we just started vlogging and we're learning and growing. Some people said this not so I mean the amount of stuff that we had to try to arrange. One person will say the volume is too low, the next person says it's high on this end, and all of these things you're trying to do when you don't have the equipment. All right, I'm just helping all of us to understand that sometimes it's not as easy, and gratefulness must be expressed. And I want to say this because I want to thank the persons, right? And so sometimes again, I know people will look and see like a super sticker for $1.99, and they say that okay, the vloggers have a lot of money so they can do this. It is not that. So like from this $1.99 people, you get less than $1. All right, trust me. Yeah, you get less than $1. Yeah. Oh, yeah, are just above $1, I think. So I just want us to all understand and show appreciation for all the persons who did this, not just for management, but for all the persons. All right. I also want to thank Mr. Dennis Chung because he's not, I think he's in Kigali. And listen, he made sure that we were able to do the whole thing without any hindrance. And I think if we as vloggers can come together and get good switchers and cameras, right? I think that would just make what we're able to do better. All right. But it was a good experience. I really enjoy working with other persons to help the people, because really this was for you. Coach Minzy will tell you, when I go to games, people, I just want to watch the game. So for me to do the commentary, it was difficult, but I did it because so many persons wanted to see the game. All right. So big up to all the persons. Again, Military Guna, lots of respect. Siobhan Pierre too was there. I mean, unseen. I know Ryan was part of the dialogue with Mr. Chang as well. So big up Ryan LFC. All right. I want to big up the persons on my channel, Brian and Cranky, for filling in, plugging in that gap for me. All right. But so I have some other things. It's a new. No, so I have a few things, right? This is on the funnier side. So when I was trying to go to this, the man so they're calling military and a Coach Minzy, and I said, Coach Minzy, where are you guys? Here's what Coach Minzy said to me. We are in the black box in the middle of the field. So, people, you tell me. That's what the man said to me. He said, man, yeah, man, we are in the black box in the middle of the field. So first thing come to my mind now is that there must have been an aeroplane accident at the National Stadium and the black box fell out. So I need to go on the field and find the black box, because that is where they are going to be doing the commentary, because the black box in the middle of the field. Right? So I am looking now at the field and saying, how the game is going to be played if there's a black box. Coach Minzy, you can come tell the people them if management not talk truth. So I said, which black box? In the middle of the field. Man, so I'm looking, can't find anything. He said, no, man, it's not. So I said, look to you at it, like, and I saw the box. In the stands, people, not in the middle of the stands either. The man said, no, man, I my mistake. The black box is in the middle of the ground. Anyway, that was funny. Then, but listen, I'm going to beat some of the people them still. All right? I'm going to beat some of the people, right? Because I think it was a good turnout. I get the feeling like the turnout at the stadium was better than in Montego Bay, because the stadium was bigger, it wasn't packed. But a lot of the people came to the game late. So, right? But people, we have to do better. Like, we complain. And then when the games are played, a lot of people don't turn out to support the team. And this has been going on for years now. This has been going on before the pandemic. And it happens with the male team and it happens with the female team. All right? And listen, it's not for the lack of money. I am telling you that. It's not for the lack of money. And now here's why I know. People will complain about the football to pay $1,000 to go in. And you pay $1,000 to go in, or they can't find it. But I see some parties where there's like all 80,000 Jamaican dollars, you know, all inclusive things, you know. Me live in CNL, you know, man. I think the other party down here recently called some BRT business out by a place called Pearly Beach, you know. When them think they're keeping, you know, people. If I'm in particular areas, it is traffic for hours, We're just packing, and it look like it's a all weekend, like it start like from the Friday and it doesn't end until the Sunday, right? And I'm sure that those parties have over 10,000 people minimum over the weekend. All right, I'm not complaining, but with the amount of people that complain about football and then don't go watch games, it's I don't like it, Aya. I don't like it. Because I know there are people who complain about it, and it's not that they just don't watch. Listen, they don't watch schoolboy football, but they complain. They don't watch the Premier League and they complain. They don't watch the national team, they complain. They don't watch the women's team and they complain. I'm not talking everyone, I'm just speaking about some persons who have the most issues with everything football. And here's what they will say. Here's what they will say to you. Offer me now, spend me money for watch them there. Idiot baller there. No matter who is out there. It could be Leon Bailey or Mikel Antonio. They're not paying their money to watch it. And I'm saying that is fine, because it's your money. But then for you to get up and complain about the same thing that you're not supporting, I have an issue with that. I'm going to go a little further. Brethren. That free tickets were on offer. Free tickets. Ask Peso who we gave tickets. So we did a total of, in all, grandson and bleachers, It's 60 tickets in total, And CNL had to give tickets away, just give people randomly ticket. Because even the people who call and say, boy, them win ticket and them will come game, man to go be ask special, them not turn up. They don't turn up. And I'm saying that have to work. Then I want you to watch the feed, because you see the fan support. You see, we need to learn how to support our team, including me in the stadium. I don't think the Jamaican fan, for the most part, goes to the stadium to support the team first. I think they go to watch the game. So we don't have fans who sing and make noise and beat drum and all of those things. Right? And that is a part that needs to happen. So we need to, the JFF, and this is where I'm going to challenge the JFF. You need to find, all right, I remember at UTEC they used to have, when it was coming around to sports day, they used to have the cheerleading. It was like when it's cheerleading competition, one of the biggest thing. I mean, all the faculties are involved in the auditorium. Big thing. All right. So here's what. Maybe the JFF need to say, listen, let's get a couple of those cheerleaders. All right. One of the cheerleading squad with some drummers and things for every single game we play. Bring them in there and tell them, listen, or probably bring in some of the high school bands or the Tivoli Jump Troop or something and say, listen, you play 30 minutes, take a break. You play 30 minutes, take a break. Recently, there's a group of fans that started doing that at Arsenal games. And that has changed the vibe, they say, at the stadium, at the Emirates. So maybe the JFF have to look into that. Just dedicate like 100 tickets every time you have a home game to specific fan, where they all wear yellow or something. We need that kind of a thing. And listen, this is not let me tell you this. Nobody can tell me, say, I never saw it used to be. So let me tell you what used to happen. Because I never missed any game in the campaigns from around 1990. When me say, me no miss no game. All right? Watch this. And in those times, it was watching the game, and the only time you'd hear like the Jamaican really make noise is when a man salad a man, or beat a man, or kick a good shot. Watch this. Sometimes what happens is that when you hear a corner, you'd hear goal, 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 goal. Outside of that, everybody's watching the game. They started bringing like Jerry D and those guys. You remember in the campaign and those things to do all of the fanfare. A lot of that used to take place However, before the game and at halftime. But during the game, there was a lot of dead moments. I think we have to find fans who can go inside the stadium and make noise non-stop. Win, lose, or draw. And nobody can tell me but listen, all when Arsenal was done in the Belgium, fans were in there making noise. When Manchester done in the Belgium, fans in there making noise. Listen, when Brazil done in the Belgium, the fans still turn up and make noise. So don't tell me that only when time people win, fans turn up. No gossip, brother. KC, man, them turn up, win, lose, or draw. KC, they are the last of champs. KC jump them a beat. Don't want to tell me that. C-Bar make noise right until champs done. First, second, third, or fourth. Me I tell you that. I've been around sports long enough. Team no need for win. For we shout and make noise. I see that in the EPL. I see that in La Liga. I see that at our schoolboy events. Not all the schools enough. But I can tell you this. That's why one of the things, you can't, you see KC, JC, and Calabar, you see them schools, you have to rate them. Because win, lose, or draw. Win, lose, or draw. I could have rugby Calabar there, you know. Them a make nice. I could have school challenge quiz. And the team that's 30 and them were one. Them a make nice. Calabar don't win Manning Cup. How long? And when Calabar go play, me I tell you that them a make nice. And ask me and ask you. Be nice. First game. All if KC have them down 2. Drum still a beat, bro. And I think we need to, like, for our culture, somebody needs to be assigned to do that. And we need to find 100, drums and horns and ladies and stuff to be in the games in certain colors, in particular places, every time we play. That can create songs and all of these things. Listen, media, listen, nobody can tell me nothing. When Jamaica play World Cup qualifier and Mexican wave a go on, people sit down at the stadium and say, them, a match me come for what? Me not come here for do no Mexican wave. Somebody don't come tell me about people are, when people are winners. Not tell me no nonsense. We don't have no culture. We don't have no real fan culture. So nobody not tell me no nonsense. Me they are the game them. Do not tell me no nonsense. I was sitting in the stadium. Man, me say man fight in a grandstand in a 1998 campaign. 1997. Because man, them decide say them now sit down and man say, you have to stand up in this. So don't come tell me about because the team now win. New York Knicks struggle to make the playoff. How much NBA title they have won? One! In must see 100 years of NBA basketball. And the Knicks fans, the Knicks still have dancers and all kind of antics going on during the game. Defense. Come on, man. We need to teach the people how to do that. And let me tell you again, the only difference is going to happen is that when Jamaica start winning, more people go to the game, but them now make no noise. Them sit down and watch game. And if you start making noise in front of whole of them, then tell them sit down and stop noise because the match them come for watch and don't block them. You think you can go in the Maracana and tell the people them that? You think you can go in the Azteca and tell the people them that? You think you can go to the Emirates and tell the people them that? You think you can go on Merseyside and tell the people them that? You think you can go to Stamford Bridge and tell the people them that? You can't do it. Man, bad up man and tell man, sit down and come out of my way, man, with a heap of nice and this. Yo, stop playing a drum. When Jamaica was winning and ranked highly after 1998, man tell man, say, stop coming at the stadium with them drum and stop coming make nice. Our ball man come to watch after we came back from France. So we need a group. We need a group of people who begin to teach fans how to operate in the stadium. Meaning, you see, before we go to the game and the opponent them a come, you get some rat leg and throw upon them bus, man. You know, I mash out the window, you understand me? Tell them about the Cowboys. Uncle Sam Army. Let me give you an example. Check El Salvador. People, check El Salvador. Come, I can give you an example. El Salvador no win nothing. Them no win no Central American title. Them no win no Gold Cup title. Them never go as far as Jamaica. How much time El Salvador qualify for World Cup? You want to check out El Salvador fans. So some are unlimited on the scoop and thinking. I'm not going to call on the name because I be a nonsense and not talking. You know, if you call in, you know who me attack. You. I'm not going to pay you the respect of calling the name today. But more you call in. And I want you call in on the program or show your face. I will not even pay the courtesy at this time to refer to your name. Because nothing that I say is not the fact. Jamaica football over the years have never had fans who understand. And we have a caller here. Hello?
What man is man?
Oh, this
So calling here.
Tiga, let me send you the link, Tiga. You know me have to do the look
cool.
monologue and let me send you the link and come here some very important information to share to you. So let me just send you the link and thing so others can call you. All right, so let me see if we can do that. Yeah. You understand me, people? So here's what we need to do forward. We're going to talk to the Gensec, you know, and say, Mr. Gensec, we need to get, if it's 10 fans in there, we need some people in there. Give them some tickets to go in there. We need to make some nice. Win, lose, or draw. Who can travel with the Jamaican team? We create an entourage and go there and travel and make nice and shout for the team. The team need that. A bad mind people on the search for listen, a bad mind people shout for you when you're winning, and when you're losing, them walk out and leave you. A bad heart people stay so. We don't want no bad heart fan. We don't want no bad heart fan. Come on, people, help me run with the bad heart fan them. That only when the team win, them want to support the team. Run them boy. They don't help people when they are down, but they want to celebrate when they are up. Run them. That's why I saw for Paul call them ungrateful. Run them. And a joke thing, a serious thing though. Serious thing. Any one of them here talk about when the team start to win. Run them. Because here's the thing. If man is man down, and them see when I go forget him, and I must say a long time that happened to him. And when they start winning again, them jump around and try to support you. Run them. A bad heart them have. Run them. Win, lose, or draw. Yes, Brian. Brian, manager, I would disagree with you on that point. Wholehearted, I think the term for would be, wagon is. Yeah, man. Jamaican Guna. Somebody need to make a chanting song, man. No, man. It's sad, man. It's sad that a man, I get a ticket to go clap him team before the game start, and him say, oh, me not gonna match, because the team now win no game. So when you go match? When the team start win, I say you have fun. Bad hard people them. Hey Ryan, may I tell you, Coach Minzy, military Guna. You see people who talks about Jamaica? Hey, I learned this in leadership. I remember when I was about to be transitioned into my position now, and the former leader was leaving. Let me tell you what happened. So when I came into the position, because I was young, there was a lot of people coming and saying, about the farmer leader. And I remember I spoke to the farmer leader. All right? And the farmer leader said, listen, Omar, you see, if they do it to me, they will do it to you. Let me tell you this. You see how they think about Jamaica football is no different from how they think about you as a person. Don't ever separate. When people tell you who they are, don't fool yourselves. You would be a fool to be fooled when they tell you how they are. You see, the people who say that the team need to win so that they can get their support, those same people failing in life, they would not pay any mind. I am telling you that. It is exactly how they are as a person. It cannot be separated. It's a principle of life.
Amazing.
Tiga, go ahead and share your thoughts.
Wagwan, morning, bless up, morning viewers and subscribers.
Tennessee,
Yeah, man.
hold on, here, Tiga just come on. So Tennessee, just hold on a little bit. Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Come on, bless up. First of all, I want to say thank you for the wonderful streaming that you and Coach Mendes did yesterday. It was excellent, professional. I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so happy for all the vloggers out there, the strive that we have made since 2019 coming up, far away, long becoming. I'm happy, really happy that what you guys did yesterday. Feel proud of myself being a part of your company, and the rest of vloggers' company. Congratulations, sir. I was one of the person who was saying that to turn up the commentary because the coach was doing an excellent job. But when you let in the stadium noise, it kind of drown you guys. You understand? I want to hear you guys talk, giving the comments on the match, and you guys were doing a proper job. You understand? Excellent job. And yeah, man, I really appreciate that what you guys did. And I'm just seeing a lot of competition now. I don't know if they're going to give you guys any more chance to do that again, because trust me. Yeah, man, trust me. I see competition out there. They're going to stop it. You guys did an excellent job. Excellent job. Congratulations. And what you were saying about the 98 campaign is really true. You understand? Yeah, people just want to go match like it's uptown thing and want to cheer. But when you go match, what they need when they're talking about the 12th man or the 30 man in the stadium, a cheer, we're supposed to cheer, not supposed to watch a match. If you want to watch a match, you watch it in your bedroom. If you want to go to the stadium and cheer, you have to cheer on the team. You understand? Drum off a beat, guys have a mech. You understand? I remember a time we went down to, I think it was El Salvador, and the Jamaicans, them couldn't sleep, where them a beat drum the entire night and stuff like that. We couldn't sleep. And we had to tell them, say, yo, we need to string up Stone Love. I think one of the team that stay in New Kingston, I would say we need to string up Stone Love or string up a dance.
Cross from the Pegasus, man.
Yes. You understand? String up a dance, make nice, but them can't. This is part of cheering on the team and supporting the team. You understand? Jump your beat, nice. But I think the problem is this, and you said it well, JFF need to invest. You understand?
Yeah,
they
think
need
so.
people. They think people, because people supporting the team, they think people are gonna come out and just in a yellow and beat drum for the man. No, they need to invest, get a couple thousand people and stuff like that, put them in a yellow, get the back.
I'm not gonna really see 1,000 still, but
No,
because we
exactly.
not have the money to give you 1,000 tickets like that. But I said, get the Tivoli drum troop and probably one of the college cheer group leading team and one of the high schools and say, listen, free tickets. 100 tickets given away. Nice. Non-stop nice. Take 30 minutes rest, the other one go on. 30 minutes rest, the other one go on. Yeah, man. That's all we're saying, We need the Wagonist them still,
Of course.
We not run the Wagonist them still, But it's not a good practice. You understand? But we understand how the thing work. We not run yeah.
They need to pay some people to paint them face, dress in that yellow, come and beat drum and support, just make nice throughout the entire 90 minutes or 95 minutes and stuff like that. GFF needs to invest in that because it's not going to come natural. You understand? It's not going to come natural.
Which is what I am saying. It has to be like a deliberate action to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, deliberate passion. So JFF need to invest in that. They need to put aside some budget, some money in the miscellaneous account to do that. so they can drive out support, make people see the excitement. You understand? I say, yeah, man, things are going on a stadium. I have to come, I have to be a part of it. You understand? That I love to be a
Tennessee
part of
thing, I
it. You
just
see that excitement.
what I thought, because I've had Tennessee for a little bit while now, so I want to hear his thoughts. And you tell me if you're hearing him. Tennessee,
Go on, man.
you hearing? You hearing him? You hearing him, Cataract? All right, yeah, man. Go ahead,
Man,
Tennessee, yeah, man.
yeah. Man, you see sometimes, you see what you say about the fans, Jamaica. I don't, sometimes, I really don't think some Jamaican fans have that kind of passion for the national team. I think some people, sometimes I think they watch the team, I can't just to criticize them. Just like what you said. When you look at El Salvador and Guatemala, them, they know we not,
Yeah.
not at all. But when you see a match, and you see passion with them people show up in them team, them a jump for 90 minutes. You understand? Them a support them team. But cause I remember, in the 90s when Jamaica just started out the campaign. You used to listen to radio program. See? And people used to call in, and you have this one particular brother. Every time the team win, the man call in and say, it is that you have camel, but you need to eye, one Jamaica before the World Cup. And the man call every night. And it's once you look at Jamaica go qualify, come here listen to him, he stop call. So I think because right now, as much as I love Arsenal, if Arsenal play champion in the final, and Jamaica play a Gold Cup final, and Jamaica will win. As much as me love Arsenal football team, but I think some people don't really have the kind of. Cause sometimes you have a team up here, you hear a man say, "Oh, me now buy a ticket to go watch Jamaica play. Jamaica na go." See? But yet still, you see a person who makes some comment every time they play. They will make comments how we tell already Jamaica na good. Man, I don't think we have fans who love it. Not everybody. Yeah, we have some fans who love the team. I have a lot of work on this. I remember in 98, we used to go to stadium, and when the team, when people say team are qualified, you can't get that stadium again. And before, when we used to go, you can get it easy. And when the team all look like them are qualified to the World Cup, brother, you can't get that stadium. You can't get in. So I think where you say like we need some fans where for the cheer and the team. Because we have to cheer when a man sell a man, when a man pile a man or a goal score.
And no man, when a corner kick, Jamaicans make noise and a corner kick, them say, goal. Every time a free kick.
Goal. And 99% of the time, the ball got over the bar.
Yeah. But I think, and we have talked to Mr. Chang and make this, because I think it must be deliberate. Or we can raise money, buy 2 10-foot banner and drums, get JFF. I don't think we need to do that. We need to just start like Kid Tivoli, Drum Trooper, Ricky Trooper, have one of them things, and ask them to come in and just do it, find out too much I'm charge, and see if the JFF would give them ticket, and we probably help them. I don't know, but we think we need to do something. But we have this Agent 7 in the building. What's going on, Agent 7?
007. Tennessee Lewis. Good morning, Tennessee.
All right.
Yeah, morning, Tennessee. Morning, panelists. I started listening. I didn't listen from the start. But listen. During '98 and going forward, it was myself. I bought the tickets for the cheerleaders and the band, because even though I was close to Mr. Burrell, the JFF did not do that. We had a 100-foot banner, which I still have fold up in my garage, weather beaten. And we used to they call it the machine, right at half line, and we roll it out. And many times when rain fall, everybody come and
And
cover
yeah,
up one night,
that's it.
right? But those were done by the fans. I don't believe that the JFF would give free tickets. But let me tell you what I really see. The quality of the sound system there was poor yesterday,
Yeah.
right? As a matter of fact, it's only the speakers over grandstand was playing. So what
It
we were
seems so.
hearing over bleachers is the echo. That's why I never saw nobody thing there. The selector not have enough vibes to build the crowd. And so I not put myself to get no work, you know. But you see, if you don't have a selector that love the football and know the football and can't even like the selector could even take the mic and say, low rate, Rabel Martin, bust a loud black. If you want to whisper, that would hype up a crowd. But the music was dead. So there was no vibes in the crowd. Right? None. However, I don't agree that the JFF should issue this bag of free ticket because there were a lot of free tickets issued yesterday.
Yeah.
So don't get fooled by the crowd. There were several high schools and primary schools were issued free ticket. That's why the place kind of looked less than scanty. But I am looking at, let me talk about tough crowd, right? Them are the ultras that come from Clarendon, Mad Sus and the family. Them said yesterday morning, them hear about the game. The promotion and advertising of the game is woeful. The man them said this morning, them hear about the game. Tuesday morning, them hear about the game. And so the JFF has to look at its avenues for advertising, and that is clearly not working because Gate 1 was empty, Gate 2 was empty, Gate 3 was empty. When you came around to Gate 4, halfway line, and little bit of Gate 5. But Gate 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, there was nobody there. And in the bleachers, when I look across, I think it's less than about 20% of the bleachers had people. No, sorry, 20% of grandstand. So how you advertise the game is critical. And the truth of the matter is, boy, oh boy, I really feel like say if they didn't have the match Saturday at town, it would have full. And maybe if we had gotten a result in Kingston, we'd still be able to fill up the stadium in Montego Bay come this Tuesday. So I think they made a strategic error in how them think. But that's just my view, right? But at the end of the day, the fans were there. I don't think we have a culture, even when we did for cheerleaders and marching, but then the people never told him that.
Yeah, then I tell the people now, I tell them,
I
sit
said,
down.
boy, you're not sure, man, make nice of me head. Where you make so much nice of me head?
Easy the foo seller, no man. Want tear you out. See a match man come for watching our black man, you know. You think you can go on Merseyside and say that? Or Eland Road and tell them, man, them one time them a cheer for Leeds, but them if you sit down, them a block you.
They are black
Yeah,
here.
from there, so sit down in the no nice section or something, bro. You can't be there.
So, yeah, man, we used to do that. And it took some strong man, you know, we come from different clubs to shut up some people and say, no, well, if you want this section, you so go sit down over Gate 1. But when you come at half line, it's ultras. But people were upset. Oh, man, I got lick jumping at their head while them watch match. So I think we have a culture of before the game we get hyped up, half time we get hyped up, and then we just take in the match and cuss the team until a goal score. That is the God-living truth. We cuss every player until they think. But some of the cussing was legitimate because what I got yesterday.
Hold on, Katark. I'm going to let T-God come in because let me just say this. I'll also say this. One of the worst habits in Jamaica football. The sound system, man, them play the loudest when they interview them, I do. Every time the people them are leave the stadium, I go to them yard. At the time they don't want turn, they want them turn up the gain, them turn up the slide at them. Why them do that? Why them can't listen? Them when the game is finished, You need at least 30 minutes to cover interview. You got JPL game, schoolboy game, national game. The music is blaring. You can't do no matter where you're at the stadium. Be a
But
loud music. When they get and everybody go them here, they might make it look like so the people them stay there and I enjoy the music. The people them a leave. You go
the
play
press,
that
con-
outside the
the
stadium,
press
man.
conference last night was brought to you all courtesy of Stone Love and Carnation Market Vendors Association. Because a beer, yeah.
Anyway,
It was embarrassing.
yeah.
We
But
feel sorry for them. But you said somebody want to speak, so
yeah, Tiga,
I'm
yeah, man.
here.
What say you? Because then we're gonna get you some team stuff. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think is that is the time they get to play and make noise when the game is over. So they're putting in them 2 cents. You understand at the end of the game, which is wrong. You understand? They need to make noise and during the game and stuff like that. But I think that's a part of the restriction they get to make noise after the match, and they want to get in like 15 minutes without playing the music like they dance. You understand? So I think that's a problem. But anyway, I remember just to say, I remember in '98, I was during the '98 campaign, I was at a match, and Jamaica was playing, and Jamaica lose the ball. They were kicking to Nannyville, and they lose the ball, and the defender was like tracking back, and I get up and I say, "Run, boy!" And I was screaming on top of my lungs, and everybody was like looking at me. I say, "Run!" So the defender run back and tackle the man and get the ball and win the ball, and everybody start applaud me. You understand? It's like me alone I cheer for the Jamaican guy. I understand like them sitting and watching man. And I was on top. I said, "Run back, man, run." Yo, I could remember that vividly, man. That day, man, and the Jamaican win the ball, kick up at the ball, up top, and everybody was like clapping. Yeah, man, I'm here, man, I'm here. As you said, some people just there just to sit down and watch, man, and not to just cheer on the Jamaican players, and which
Yeah.
is totally wrong.
All
You
right. I
understand?
want
If they want to watch match, stay home and watch match. But if they're
yeah.
at the stadium, you need to cheer on the players right through the 90 minutes, 95 minutes.
Yeah. All right, let me just take this one because I know this person, right? Everywhere Jamaica is playing in Central America, the Caribbean, and the USA, a group of them go to every single game. All right? You know him as AQ. Woolmerians know him very well. All right? Them man no miss game. All right? Trust me when we say him no miss the under 17, him no miss the under 20, him no miss national game. All right? AQ and BAM, the group of them, travel go everywhere. Them they are Gold Cup, them no miss nothing. I mean, and when more information, when game I play, at them because them at the game. Here's the problem them have. Everybody in the GFF know them. Everybody in the GFF see them. And like fans like these, when you're playing a away game like in El Salvador, and them travel there and them book hotels, I think some of them forget ticket. When you have fans like these, when keep on
You're one
seeing them,
thousand
like
percent correct.
fans like these who travel outside of the country that they live in, book hotels for all a tournament, you can give them a ticket. That I might think.
Marins, you are 1000% correct. As a matter of fact, each federation is given an allocation of tickets. That's the rules. Each away, even club games. If you played in Champions League, Europa League, you hear them acquire about ticket allocation because you are given an allocation of tickets. And 9 times out of 10, those tickets that are not sold are then sold back to the country, because if we get 1,000 tickets for El Salvador and 100 people are there, so 900 get sold back because the stadium's still full. I agree with you that what needs to happen, I would suggest, is that the marketing department of the GFF work to get, like you see, all the Nation League, although it's no fans, right? But if, let's say, Mexico, when we were taking the charter plane, a charter plane has at least 200 seats on it. After you take the team of 25 and 100 GFF official, you still have 125 or so seat left. Open it up to the fans and say, okay, seat, hotel, ticket. Give it this price because the plane still a fly empty. and you still a pay for the whole plate. So let us move with the team. I saw it go.
Yeah. That used to happen in 97.
Yes.
In
Yes.
97, a lot of the games, that's how a lot of people were able to travel to some of the games. I remember that.
Yes, that is true. That is true. That is how I traveled. To Mexico, we went to Honduras. No, I think Honduras we went on the day of the game. Tegucigalpa, we went on the day of the match. But we normally go before because the team normally go 3 days before. So sometimes you go, you enjoy the city,
Yeah.
and then you're ready for match day. So I think they have to work with the fans and find a way where we can get consistent support. So I agree with you that the away support has to be arranged, especially for the qualifiers coming up. And like when we are playing a game like Argentina, the JFF needs to set aside a block of tickets for Jamaican fans so that all the yellow is sitting together. Not yellow in a section 115, yellow in a section 80, because you don't get the impact, in my view.
Yeah. How can this type of support be created in the region? I see like somebody sending me a video. I don't know if I can play the video yet. I have to see it first. All right. We have a caller coming in. Hold on a sec. All right. Dima, welcome to the show.
Yes, sir. Big up the panel, and big up everybody in the comment section. Mannings man, but you just want to ask before you get to the team stuff. Is kind of a statement question, but I want to put it to you as a part, all right?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah, man. We hearing you loud and clear.
Yeah. All right. So we know everybody express emotions the same way, and as somebody in the church, you probably would get the analogy say, some people express worship a certain way, and some people just want to sit down and meet.
Yeah.
It may I try to equate that to the same way. I mean, not everybody are going to express, emotions the same way when them come at the match. And legitimately, maybe some people just want to sit down and watch the game. Them just want to sit down and watch, and that's how them enjoy it. Zine,
Yeah.
I know he got there say, if you want to do that, you watch it at your yard. But people want the experience, and them want to watch it that way. That's how them express it. While you have other people, on the other hand, who obviously are going to reel and beat drum and ray. So what do you have to say in regards to finding that balance? So you're gonna have two different sections, like how you
there you go. Because I think about, listen, so I want to go to the Emirates. I plan on going to the Emirates to watch a game. And people are already telling me, like, when you go there, if you don't want to hear noise and people standing in front of you and you have to stand up and shout, you have to ensure that you get tickets in this particular area. It would be better if you go in the press box because you don't want to even go buy a ticket and you end up in the away fan section, though you're an Arsenal fan. So you have to sit in specific area, right? But you can't sit where the people are going to make noise and tell them to keep quiet. You can't go to a stadium. We don't use the vuvuzelas. But I do understand that, and I told her that, all right, many times after 1998, when the people were trying to do the Mexican wave, I will tell people it caused a lot of problems. Because oftentimes when it got over to the grandstand, there were people over there, even government minister in the box area, who didn't want to stand up and do the thing until the people them start get upset. And it started a booing competition, who are boo and all of those things. So the point I'm making, Demo, is that you may not be involved in all of the activities. But what is wrong with a fan going to a game? You're doing a Mexican wave and you're sitting down when you can stand up. And I do understand there are people who can be, well, you just want to watch the game, you can be involved in football. I'm saying that sit probably in the grandstand where the quote-unquote hooligans. My problem I have is that too many, I think the greater percentage, the 90% of the people who go and watch Jamaica's football, even at the Premier League level, they go there to watch and to criticize, not to support. Them cuss the player, them cuss the coach, them quarrel, and them don't. The only time they make noise, our happy sound is if a goal score.
Goal!
Goal! And then them gone back to cussing. I don't get the feeling like when I watch Liverpool demo that is the general approach of the fans.
So that's what I was going to get at, Dean, because obviously, I mean, a lot of people know that Anfield is known for them crowd and Anfield nights and all of them stuff. But I mean, I have a friend who just got at the Man U game, the 7-0. I'm not trying to bring it up, but legitimately just happened, right? And he might tell me, say, listen, a lot of the times it's quiet when nothing really not go on, and the ball just a pass on. There are phases in the game where the Anfield crowd is quiet. I mean, I say Anfield could have quiet. Then man, them say, yeah, them just a take in the game, and then when stuff start happening for rile up the crowd, them get rile up again. Now, mind you, when I think Jamaicans are go, be down for a short period of time, because it seems like they're down for most of the times unless there's a corner or a goal. But there are phases in the game where you can say it going to be quiet for a while. So, I don't know how to say. Like, I think you genuinely have people who just want to go for watch and
Demo.
enjoy it that way. May
Demo.
hear.
Speak the truth. Everybody in the cup is drunk before the whistle
Yes.
starts. So please,
Yes.
don't give me that they're sitting like a church congregation listening to Salah and Klopp and Henderson pulling the string. No, sir. You're very loud, noisy, and just barbling a lot of because the pubs empty out and you guys drunk before the first whistle. I've been to Anfield in the lead section. I've heard you guys. So don't try and come here and paint a pretty picture. But I understand what you're saying, that different people enjoy the product in different ways. And that's just
Exactly.
how it is.
But I just know why you say make them stay at them yard and watch if that them come for do. That's all.
No, I don't think so. But let me just take where I sit in bleachers. Firstly, we have some traditions, right? One, when it come to a certain minute mark, I can't remember it now because the man them know it. We start chant Shorty Malcolm and Peter Cargill. We give them chance. When we don't stand up for no anthem but Jamaica's anthem. None of we don't stand up for no anthem but our anthem. When the game start, you throw the rum up in the ear. Who are sit down there so no you're gonna get wet. And if a goal score, everybody is rum bastard because every cup got up in the ear. People get vexed. But from the start, you tell them, if you come for sit down here, this is not the family section. Please. I saw a woman yesterday in a longest Brazilian ear, and I tell the man how much for your Brazilian ear cost. And the man them say, boy, maybe I should pay Demario Phillips for turn back the ball when he was free with the empty goal at his mercy. Because the body they planned for wet up our Brazilian.
I think we have lost Demo. Demo, you still there?
Are we segueing into the match analysis?
Some of the callers. Let's see. I have one next caller, Keter, because I want to get into the. We are the 101 now, so we're going to go into the game. But caller, welcome to the show. Good morning.
Yeah, morning, and it's over, man.
Yeah, man, I'm here, man.
All right, then to the panel, it's Catar after the man. So, man, I say, with a crowd thing, real quick, and this is a while switch topic. But I think our expectations of the fan right now should not be too much because over the years, so far we have not been given any consistent performance by the national team. So I guess when one comes to a game, they're in a pensive mood. They don't know what to expect. You understand me? If you had a national team that is always playing home matches and you have good performances, so you develop a sort of vibe with the team, then I mean that can be expected. So yeah, they're gonna celebrate and whatever. But this is after 11 years, probably the first match, and then over the years, even the matches that they've been playing competitively, they have been losing a lot of them. You understand me? So you don't expect the fans to come in an excited mood and whatever, because so far the only thing that the fans have been giving are promises, not performance. You understand me? So I think as the performance develop, and then they have a certain expectation and a certain vibe and a certain euphoria create with I think you get the vibe from them. I felt that vibe back years ago when during the 98 period that matches played, everybody was joyful and all these things. And the other thing too, I think Mr. Chung is wearing too much caps. Mr. Chung is being accountant, marketing, everything in one. I think the halftime show has a lot to do with Jamaica football. It's a part of our culture. You understand me? And that helps to create a vibe too. You understand me? So, and I heard him saying people come to watch match, they don't need any halftime show, whatever. But I think that's a part of our culture over the years, and it helps to enhance the product. You understand? Well, right now we're just basically giving a product that has not yet proven itself. You understand? So the people are not sure what to expect. They can be cheering on, and when you look, they lost 2-3-0 or 1-0 or whatever. So I guess it requires some time, brethren.
All right. I appreciate your views, caller. And thanks, as usual, for the call. Yeah, man, we have a next one coming in, so let's take this one, and then we go to the game. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. You're live on here.
Greetings and good afternoon.
Yeah, man, good afternoon. Welcome, caller.
You did a wonderful job once again with the commentary.
Yeah,
and again, much respect and thanks for every person that made it possible for us outside of the diaspora to be able to see that,
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
I hear your frustration, and brethren, I share the same level of frustrations along with you. You see, Jamaica don't have we don't have a footballing culture in our a culture that supports, but we just choose what to support, and we are very critical of our own product that we have, which is the Reggae Boyz. Look how Jamaica turn out cheering for Brazil, cheering for Argentina, cheering for other clubs that they have, in the EPL and otherwise. But yet when it comes to the Reggae Boyz, we are so critical and not supportive. And I know, again, that has just stressed the point that you give even very critical examples of what we choose to spend our money in or on is not a lack of money that the people didn't have, because I think that the price that they were charging is a reasonable price, 1,000 and 3,000. That's a reasonable price, I think. But I do believe that the JFF is lacking in their creativity of promoting and marketing what we have.
Absolutely.
We used to have a nice... Go ahead, sorry.
No, I said absolutely. I said I'm agreeing with you that a part of it, and I think a lot of persons have been, including South Cry, though I don't agree with all of South Cry points, that the JFF must realize that this is a part of their role and responsibility, right? The players were here long. Imagine if Tyler Roberts went to meet one of the sponsors at the workplace and the company bought 100 tickets. One of the sponsors for the game. You understand me? Where were the TV appearances leading up to the game? Where were the players interacting with the community in Montego Bay about the game? So like stuff like that is a whole part.
Simple stuff.
Yeah. So I do agree with that. But one thing I'll say though, I don't support this idea of teams losing. Listen, I've bought every Arsenal jersey. All right, home and away. Watch this. And we have not won a Premier League title since when? All right, I still support Arsenal, even though I quarrel about the team.
No, manage, you win games. I think that's what the caller is trying to say. You win a fair share of games. So it's not the title. I don't think
I don't win nothing. You don't play some of the games.
No, I don't think what the caller meant.
But that's wrong. It's a different. It's different with the league games. The amount of games that you do play in a league versus international.
Right.
International team as a league game.
Right. So
they play several games even per week. They get used to each other. They win some, lose some. Jamaica we don't have that privilege as a national team.
So I'm gonna not extend it. But my suggestion, I just have one suggestion, and I'm gonna make it to you, Manins.
Yeah.
I believe that a big sound system should be set up over by Nannyville there, so right by behind us, so to keep playing music throughout the game, not on the stadium compound.
Cataract sound, man. Cataract sound.
It kept our sound too big for that. But
Cataract sound, a jump
so,
and sound, and everywhere them go, them get beat around.
Yeah.
We want a
Beat
champion
around.
sound. We no want no come
All the
around.
selector a
Way!
clown.
And the selector a
no,
clown.
no. You
When
see, you're
Balakar him step in, him say check and Cataract move clean. Cause you know say Balakar, them on the parry and scene. Way!
Yeah.
that's why Medali them couldn't get no ticket last night, and I need to raise that matter. I am sure sport. Medali them are coming. I'd see it run for the gate with Medali them ticket, but I'd see it I'm going to catch you online. All right, good. But no, seriously,
But
I really believe a big sound should be set up over Nannyville, to play throughout, because it wouldn't really affect the field like to hear the referee's whistle, and it's not really on the compound, even though maybe over stadium east they would have get upset with, or over mass camp. But so that I believe Jamaica people move to that music. That's my little thought process about how we can get fans moving, because we love music. I don't know that we like a little drum core, but I think a big sound set up over there would have the people singing and vibes in throughout the game.
Right.
That would be my thing. But
You know, we have so many talented young people in the country. So many different schools have so many different things that they do, right? You have a pre-game show. You have a halftime show. You have a show after the game for the supporters. There are so many things that we can implement as a culture of entertainment.
no, but we don't need
Tourism
the cool
culture.
picnic. Spend the money and hire book, like how you book Rihanna, like how they book Kanye West, like how they book Rick Ross for a halftime show. Engage the artists, and so when you advertise the game, it says Jamaica versus Trinidad, right? Halftime, Soca, Machel Montana versus Bounty Killer, Soca versus Dancehall at halftime. Half of the people are come for that.
It can
But
work.
you have to know how to put your product together.
Outside of that, though, right? Outside of that, we as a people, we have to be more supportive of our own product. And yes, critical, but let us be more positive in our critique in some of the things that we're critiquing as well. The JFF have their work to do. Like, for example, I put on their Facebook page, put the names of the players. We're not taking pictures of the players and all of these things, putting it out there. Commend you on doing that, but also put the names of the players so we can know who these players are. You understand? They're making some steps into some directions that are good, but they're very slow and they lack a lot of creativity. Players go to practice, after practice and get a few hours break, go and meet some of these corporate sponsors, have video, have pictures going into there, offer some of these sponsors, the businesses, the employees of these businesses, offer them tickets. Say, hey guys, supporters, today we're wearing green to the game, or today we're wearing yellow. Come in your yellow. You understand? There should be no planes, I just say, going to some of these South American countries that the planes are not packed with other supporters. We used to do that. That was something that's being done. There's allotments of tickets that's given. But as the federation, they lack so much creativity and commitment to the people to bring the people in.
All right, let's give them some time. Mr. Chung did say that he's going to come on like once a month to so we can brainstorm. Maybe this is one of the things we need to do. But thanks for the call, caller. Where do you go by again?
Because DJ Dean Live 11 Radio, everything.
Oh, yeah. Live 11 Radio. Bless up. Blessings, man. I need to come over on Live 11. I need to come over on Live 11 Radio and come bust you a big tune, you know. Understand me?
Yeah, not those little songs.
Yeah, you want some tune? Let me give you one. You want one?
DJ, I want you telling them like old time dub plate where my signal working on right now. Yesterday we were at Cataract and Amplex Sound. We're in Spanish Town, De La Vega. Yesterday night there. And then somebody leave and come a match. And let me tell you something. We have a new thing with Cataract walk with the Jericho. Okay. You think so? I was and so.
I'll give a question. Watch out now. I'll give no. Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, we have a lot of promises where we want to get rid of. Because big married man walk street like riffraff. Se7en mash him up on him, can't even see that. 65% of his songs X-rated. Sex them are sell to the uneducated. Them leave a lot of parents out there frustrated because them daughter in a X-News a pose off naked. Me about to Selassie, me about to Buddha. Selassie, our man and Buddha come from China. Jesus Christ, I'm your Lord and Savior. And him alone can make me reach the stage here. So when she a virgin, she a bashment lady. Now she get pregnant, she kill the baby. Well, you know this is the real deal. Anyways, we're going to take the next one and then we're going to talk about the game. Big up yourself.
Man, it's more than fan up it. More than fan up it, man. It's big up yourself.
You're going to need a lot of auto-tune. Yeah? I don't need a lot of auto-tune. The game management.
All right, so let's talk about the game. Leader, you can call back now. Andre is here now. Andre, you say you want to talk to Cataract, the 7-star general. Go ahead.
Man, how you doing?
I am here.
Mr. Cataract, how you doing?
I am here disappointed, but still holding the faith and trusting Coach Hallgrimson and the process.
Wonderful. I think you should do nothing else. Management, congratulations.
And I'm still not dancing and playing any soca on my sound.
I would be disappointed if you did. So, management, you know, the what you guys are doing, we have spoken about this a lot of times and the importance of it and how I feel, my thoughts about it. And I think yesterday on Sports, I'm sure Sports Caribbean, what you are trying to do, not just for Jamaica, but for the wider region. I think the message is getting wrong. And yesterday in particular, the ability of that community that you all have created to stream the game made it possible for a lot of people from Trinidad to watch the game via I Am Sure Sports. And I think that was good. There was a lot of good feedback for that. And I would like to big you all up for that, you know. I think that's strong. So I wanted to share that. But I also have a little something else that I wanted to deal with. I was going to go through diplomatic channels to get this done, management, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but I pulled up this morning and I saw you have Mr. Cataract on, so I decided I'm going to try to get it done here. Mr. Cataract, can I ask you a couple of questions?
Absolutely, and I'll be happy to answer.
A few nights ago, you were on. This was prior the night before the first game, and you were making some predictions, and Cronky was on as well, and I think he quite eloquently said, "Well, we can't watch players at practice on nice fields, not under pressure, score goals, and make the prediction that you were making." What caused you to make such a prediction that Jamaica would win the game 7-0?
Okay. So I'll repeat this very quickly. From the analytical side, the fact that Trinidad hasn't had a professional league running for the last 3 years.
Okay.
So the fact that you had a large number of debutants in your team, and that this would have been your real first competitive game as a team, whereas Jamaica had played against Argentina, not this team, but certainly this team had played against Catalonia. A number of the local players had played Catalonia, and a large number of the local players had played against Cameroon. So they've had two competitive games together as a local-based B team, because it's really B team versus B team, right? And so I felt that would have pushed us over the edge. The more seasoned players,
over the edge. 7 goals over the edge.
The more senior players,
to my new level. Sorry, go ahead.
The more senior players that we have are more well capped than your senior players. Adrian Mariappa has 60-something caps. Ravel has certainly had a large number of caps. So I think your captain, Jovain, I think is his
Ravel
name.
has less than 20 caps.
No, I'm sorry, less than 20, but that's the next highest number of caps.
Okay.
Right. But I don't think Trinidad had 3 players who have had more than 20 caps on their team. I think it's one, the very experienced.
Really? Alvin Jones and Phillips, Marvin Phillips, those guys
How
have
many?
been around for
No, I said more than 3 players.
Oh.
Okay.
More than 3 players.
Okay.
Right. So that was my expectation. So that's the critical analysis. I trusted the process that Whisper would have probably had a breakout, 2 games and banged in a few goals, and I'd seen Omari Hutchinson play very well for Chelsea on the 23 development squad in the last 3 weeks. I watched their last 3 games. So it was based on that I expected you guys to get a shellacking. Now, on the other hand side of my brain, I just don't like Trinidad and Tobago Soca Warriors because I'm an ultra and I need to beat you guys down until you are no more. That's just it.
That's
It will
fine.
come.
That's
It
fine.
will
But let's
happen.
remain
And
focused
I
now. Let's
can't
remain
wait for the
focused.
Shell Cup. And I'll finish in 30 seconds. I can't wait for something like the Shell Cup to come back.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see you again. And every time I see you, I want to beat the living daylights out of you and turn every steel pan into a bass guitar and drum and rhythm. Yeah, that's what I want to do. So
Okay. And I
couple those 2 things together.
all right.
What do you have
So
to say?
I'm gonna deal with one. I respect the fact that you respect the process, right? And you believe in the process. That's wonderful. Do you at this moment, only at this moment in time, because I think there's a bigger picture, right? You would agree that you were wrong, right? In your
Yes,
prediction.
the results did show that clearly you were there. I understood that your team had been together for about 7 months
But you
together,
wrote before your
even
prediction.
not competitively. So yes, the Trinidad team did perform at a better level than I expected. And in particular, some players did particularly surprise me. There was a young man, I think he's 18 years old or 17, in your midfield, who I'm still to this minute trying to convince the fact had gotten the better of all the midfielders. Ravel, Alwyn Harvey, and even yesterday he certainly got the better of Josh and Anglin.
Anglin, yes.
So I couldn't foresee that happening. So I have to take my hat off to that young man. But I'll put it back on very quickly because I don't really take my hat off too long for TNT. But I have to take my hat off to him. He was really a revelation in midfield. I don't know if your public feels the same. And I will look out for him in the future. And I'll put some respect on his name in future considerations.
He is a good young talent. So hopefully he has a bright future with the national team. So I'm just trying to get to a place here now. So the last 2 teams that lost 7-0, when you heard the description of the performance, it was really poor, and you suggested that we would lose 7-0. So you didn't expect much from us. You just admitted that you were incorrect on that. Some people have suggested that that you owe Jamaica and the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago an apology. Do you agree? Do you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely not.
Let me finish. Can I finish?
And I will not be eating any doubles.
Yeah,
I
but
will
hold
not
on.
be eating any shark and bake.
Let me finish
And
before
I'll
you
not be
answer that.
eating any green mangoes that you dip in red
Let me finish
food
before you
coloring.
answer. Let me finish before you answer, please. If you do that, I understand from listening that you may not have yet acquired your Jamaica national team shirt. I would personally make that available to you.
He only wears psycho body shorts.
Well, I don't know.
I am filing a lawsuit against Psycho Bunny because I'm wondering if I jinx. That's the only thing that I'm going to take because I've never worn Psycho Bunny to a game before. I decided to come in and this madness happened. So my lawyers are preparing a letter to Psycho Bunny as we speak, but I'm interested to hear what they say. Look here, you got the result. You got the result.
No, let's lose
this
the
is the
focus because he's saying that
opportunity to apologize.
he says that if you apologize to the Jamaican public and the Trinidad public, he will get you the home kit, the Jamaica home kit, just because of the humility that he will show. But
Yes,
like somebody
that
said,
would be
no
a
cataract.
tremendous step in the right direction.
But Andre, you have to excuse cataract though, because I would say the people said yesterday, why would we believe anything that a man who calls himself cataract sees in the future? Obviously, they said that if his name is cataract, then he can't see the future too well.
some people thought he was really disrespectful to suggest Se7en. So I'm giving you a chance to redeem yourself, and I'm providing an incentive. I understand you may not have, and if I'm wrong, correct me. Acquired your shirt as yet. If you're interested, we could sort that out for you. But you must apologize to the Trinidad and Tobago public. You almost brought the game into disrepute this weekend.
So let me say this. In the interest of CARICOM and the fact that I have to traverse through Piaco Airport when going to Ghana, I will at no time apologize. Do you know that I'm the top boy in the Ultras? It's not happening. I just can't wait for when Jamaica goes to play Trinidad at home. I hope it's a return game. What I can say is that I will come there. I will come there to Piaco. I have a good friend who lives in Diego Martin. I'll stay at his house and I will come to the game, identify myself, and make myself available to have a discussion with anybody from Trinidad who wants to discuss matters. Look, you are the arch rivals of Jamaica. I have said this on more than one occasion. It's good for football in the region that that rivalry is renewed. It's the soca versus dancehall derby. It's only seconded by the visa derby and the deportation derby, which is what happens between the US and Jamaica. And therefore, I look forward. At some time, you have the bragging rights at this moment. Go ahead and banter. But if you want to talk factually about the game, your team sat down and played a bag of long ball over the top.
I'm not going there. And I'm not even dealing with bragging rights. I'm dealing with the fact that you made a prediction over 2 games.
Yes.
Score 7. How many did Jamaica score?
No, we didn't score.
Right. So you made a prediction. Right. You reduce Trinidad to a level in your prediction that I think man is man, and everybody tried to correct you and tell you that look, that is not the right direction to go. And I'm just giving you an opportunity to do the right thing. That's all I'm doing.
Look here.
Along with
my good friend, and Ultra from the other side. Trinidad no good. And that's just the bottom line. And it's not gonna happen. Trinidad, no good. You have to go back to the days of Austin.
The views expressed by
let me finish. Austin Jack Warner. You have to go back to the days of Austin Jack Warner.
Cataract. People, the views that are being expressed by Cataract are not the views of I Am Sure Sports.
So is I Am Sure Sports saying that Trinidad and Tobago Soca Warriors are a good team? Yes. Is that what I'm hearing?
But
they're not good.
That's the team that
in the world of sports, hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish.
That's a team that just took 4 out of 6 available points from Jamaica.
Unfortunately, sir, points are not available for friendly matches. But let me just say, there are many times in the history of sports that a poor team or a poor or lesser quality sporting personality has won over a better team. Right? Just ask Buster Douglas, who knocked out Mike Tyson, but ain't that really good or whatever. Trinidad, you got the result. And so I will acknowledge that my team didn't perform to the level and you won on the day. I am not the person making the excuses about the feel and the fact that it was beach football over in Montego Bay. I'm not, right? I am giving you the credit for getting the necessary result. And take that, take the little jump in the FIFA rankings you will get, and God go with you. In the meantime, I have a question. I have one question for my good friend.
Towards Trinidad and Tobago, a little bit of respect would go a long way. I think acknowledging.
Hold on, Andre. Hold on, Ketterup, because T-Gat has been silent for a while. Maybe T-Gat can be the referee in this ongoing battle, because we are just at round one. We haven't even and then listen, Andre, we're gonna come back to you, but because I need T-Gat, I know he's at work. I want him to also give me his thoughts on the game yesterday.
Man. We need to get to the game and then we can deal with Andre.
Yeah. So
yes, man, we need to get into the game. Let Cataract and those guys finish the talk, and then we get into the game. All right.
Okay.
So let them finish, and then we get into the game. Let's give them 2 more minutes.
Yeah. So
and then we call it out.
Closing argument, and we'll determine who was
yes, closing argument.
And then I'll give Andre
So Andre, when will former CONCACAF boss and citizen of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Austin Jack Warner, be sent to answer for the unfair advantages which he gave Trinidad over all these years? That's just it. So whenever that happens, I might consider apologizing for my prediction. But just from my view, Trinidad no good. We're not going nowhere. We're not win the Nations League. We're not win no Gold Cup. We're not come out of the qualifying group out of the Gold Cup. We're not going to just dead in the group stage. That's your future, my brother. And I will be happy to speak to you in June again when the Gold Cup rolls around. Enjoy your victory. Enjoy your growth.
Your closing arguments.
Well, I mean, I'm respecting Kadak position, his final statement. It's not the first time that he would have been wrong. He was wrong just a few days ago. So we just have to allow time to take care of this. Trinidad and Tobago football will be fine, Cataract. Trust me. As well as Jamaica. But in this moment, there's a bigger picture. In this moment, 4 out of 6 points. 4 out of 6 points. And I think you respecting the process is good. I think you should have taken the opportunity to do an apology, but that's okay. That's okay.
All right. So there you go. The battle continued online. Andre versus Cataract. I think the Trinis are leading this battle right now. Because Cataract moved away from the game and brought up administrative misfunctions or and stuff. So we hand this one over to the man from Trini, you understand me? We can't trust the prediction of the future, because if one name is Fortune and the other one is Cataract, then I think it would be better for us to trust Fortune than Cataract when it comes out to seeing things in the future. All right, but also listen. I met Mr. Piper, Angus Eve, and the PR person. Very cool. There's a very good relationship. I know they're just casual talking about Jamaica going to Trinidad and to play kind of the same set of friendlies, and I think that is good also to see if there's a way. I know Coach Angus Eve even mentioned this, that it would be good even if local players were able to play in a Caribbean competition. And I'm putting this out there because I'm wondering if there's a company who'd want to host like a 6 nation, like the top 8 Caribbean nations in a Caribbean tournament by FIFA ranking. Bring them into one country, maybe in Trinidad or in Jamaica, put them in 2 zones, they play 3 games, semi-final, quarter-final, during non-FIFA windows break, right? So they use local players, and that's a way that you get more competitive game for the domestic players in all of these nations. That's something that I'd love to see happen. But Cataract,
Isn't that what CFU should be doing?
yes, you should be doing that. I hear somebody say something about CFU, but
Yes, if Mr. Warner could just return the funds.
well, but someone from Trinidad,
No, I'm
no,
not
but
making
this
fun.
person,
No,
Jack
I just think
Warner
that
screwed, no, this person said, and they said Jack Warner screwed us up, because he stole so much money from the federation and caused the situation we are in. But we're not going to get into that now because we're not going to be able to have him here to speak, right?
the U.S. Marshals would arrive, and I am sure sports.
I think
I'm
Jamaica
sure.
administrators benefited as well. What they did with the
No,
money.
no. The region as a whole lost. Let me tell you, the region and Trinidad suffered dearly. I accept that, but the region as a whole, no, because funds that should have been there for the benefit of the development of football in the regions were diverted elsewhere. And other smaller federations, they suffered. You know what I mean? But get on to the game, because I would love to hear Andre's ratings as well as we discuss the game,
All
please.
right, go ahead, Cataract. All right, so Cataract, go through the game, give us your ratings, and then are you want to go first, Tigat, or you want to hear Cataract first?
Can we do you want to do player by player so we can get everybody and hear and manage? We can lead that.
All right, so let's start out with
I'm not going to remember all the players, you know. I can I rate the overall team?
All right, go ahead, man.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
do player by player? Can I do the whole
Go ahead.
team?
Yeah, man, go ahead. And then I'll ask Andre to rate the Trinidad team, and then Cataract and I can go through player by player. Go ahead, Tigat. Overall team
All right.
performance.
Yes. My thought on the game yesterday, by watching the game clearly, my thought, I think, the Jamaican team need some proper midfielders. You understand? We cannot think about Ravel taking us to the World Cup, the next World Cup around. Ravel cannot take us to the next World Cup round. We need proper midfielders. And I think the game was lacking players in the middle of the park. You understand? And when you look at the team, generally, with the players who wasn't at the game, you understand? We don't see proper midfielders. You understand? The back four, while we can say Damian Lowe was out, Brown was out. You understand? We say, all right then.
But Ethan
Pinnock was out. While we can say those players were out and they're to come in, the back four may look all right.
Omari Bell played in Argentina game and played well, and he was
right.
out as well.
Right. Yeah. While we can say the back four or the defense line look kind of all right, we have nobody in midfield. No, we can't say pick out a name in midfield to carry us. And this is where we're lucky. We need proper midfielders. You understand? The up top look okay with Bailey and Anthony and whatsoever, you know, coming in. You know, Whisper and all these people coming on from the bench, from the bench. Shamar Nicholson, you understand? But the middle, we have no midfielders. And I think that's a crisis that the JFF is facing now. Proper midfielders. We need to get 4 good midfielders or 8 good midfielders. If we want to if we don't have the midfielder, we're not going to the World Cup. We're not going to do the World Cup. You understand? Whether it be locally or overseas, anywhere them there. We need to see them and see them. No. We have nobody in the middle. Ravel cannot take us to the next World Cup. Ravel is slow. Very, very slow. They're going to run around him. And he's not fit enough. They're going to make circles around our midfielders. And that is a crisis that we have. Last night's game was a poor one because we didn't have no midfielders. None whatsoever. You understand? I see you on when I hear you commentating about Hutchinson need to come off because he was tired, and they kept him on the field, and you understand? So overall of the team, no midfielders, and Jamaica really play bad, and we need midfielders. I don't know where they are, I don't know where we're gonna get them, but we need proper midfielders for us to go to the next World Cup. If we don't find 4 good midfielders, we're not going to the World Cup. Not going to the World Cup. Not. That's my take.
All right, Andre, what do you make of Trinidad's performance yesterday?
Look, man, football is as a football person myself, I every time I discuss football, I have to think about my role as a coach and my interaction with the game. So there's a couple of things. One is both teams were playing with local players, which at the end of the day, when it comes to competitive matches, those aren't the players that's going to be competing, right? The coaches were probably having a look to see who from the local group could represent the team in that moment. The other part of it, it's as a football mind, it's very difficult to have a subjective. You could have subjective opinion and you could have objective, and in either case, without knowing what the roles and responsibilities are of each individual player and the intent of the coach on that day is difficult to criticize. I've seen games where people said players did well, and then when you go and you look at it from an objective perspective, you do a performance analysis, the data suggests something else. Okay. From Trinidad perspective, what was the coach objective? For him, is to win the football match, and he did that. Are there things that need to be improved in the team? In every team there is, right? So the answer to that is yes. But I think the objective was to win the football match, and he did that. So I don't think you'd find much people complaining about Trinidad performance over the past 2 games. He won the football match in the first one, and he didn't lose the game yesterday.
Yeah. Well, let me just give my overall assessment of both teams in general. The Trinidad team played with a traditional back 4. All right. Even if you listen to the coach, he used like some 6-footers in defense, and then one kind of played in defensive midfield as a shield to them. So the back 4 of Trinidad and Tobago, they never really attacked. They just came narrow when they were without the ball, and they spread wide when they had the ball. And so they sat in a back 4. There were times when they had 1-4-1, or they played, but the back 4 remained a back 4 for the duration of the game. And so 4-4-2, which Jamaica was primarily deploying, has its limitations. It has its limitations, especially when you have 2 center forwards. As good a young player as Dujan Whisper Richards is, he's off the ball. He's limited in terms of his off the ball movements. And so because of that, we never had, back in the days when you used to play with 2 strikers, they would say you crisscross. Meaning when the ball is played, the one on the right would dart down the left on the other one, and so you try to pull the defenders out of position. For the most, they were very static, so they never had a lot of balls that came over the Trinidad backline that was deep and remained in a back 4. So we weren't able to get behind them a whole lot. And I think just how solid they defended, I saw this in the Gold Cup versus Mexico, where they deployed a similar system, right? And so that says that there is a discipline that they play with as a team, and that's something that we can learn from in terms of our defense. Their defenders as well. I want you to realize this in the game, all right? The defenders of Trinidad, they lost some of the ball that they played, but they played even under immense pressure. They played less long ball than the Jamaican team. Though the Jamaican team was high pressing them. They really high pressed the Jamaican defense. And the Jamaican defense played way more long ball. Angus Eve said it. Go and listen to it, people. It's on the channel. He said that Jamaica was playing a European style of football. They knew that's what they were going to do. So he played 6-footers in defense, and he played 1 to shield that. So we never had 2 center forwards who are good enough to win the aerial duels against these players. We never had that. So it was going to be very difficult when you have an immobile midfield and center forwards that are speedy, but they are not creating space by their movement. And so what that meant is that Omari Hutchinson never had an advantage at any point throughout the game because there was always a back four. So when he got the ball, because we really had anything on the other side, they just sent the one in the pocket to come over and double team him and still had three inside. One marked Whisper, one marked Anderson, and the other one was free, almost like a sweeper. We never did anything to, I think, change that again because we didn't have any midfielders dribbling through and our two forwards, and I'd say even Whisper more so. When he gets the ball, he's very good. But off the ball, either the players don't have confidence in him or I don't know, he wasn't create enough running angles. And I think so Colin Anderson was doing a whole lot of running. And maybe Whisper was supposed to be isolated. And I think more experienced centre forward would have probably created greater challenges to the Trinidad defense. Like if those balls were being played up to Shamar Nicholson, I could see him winning some of them. So the lack in the midfield and then the static nature of our centre forwards, I think is what affected our offensive play. And that is why I think Omari Hutchinson struggled. Why I think he should have probably been taken off. Because he's a good player. And I think he's probably going to be in the squad. But I think how we were playing was so different from in Montego Bay that it never gave him like space to take on the players. He always had a defender right there in front of him. And one coming to double team. So that's my overall assessment. But we can get into some more stuff. Let's hear from Keta right now.
So my overall assessment of the game was that it was an improved showing from Montego Bay.
Yeah.
Over two halves. And that showed in the results. And overall, with the positives, I think we created some very clear-cut chances. I can think of 3 at least, 4, and 2 came in the space of 1 minute. But when we get down to individual players, we really have to ask. Demario Phillips needs an interview because I want to know which nice Indian lady they promised him that would make you turn back the ball when you were free, 1-on-1 with the keeper and the goal at his mercy. What I saw was panic setting or a large number of TNT dollars. The question about a midfield we're going to come to, but the truth of the matter is that Jamaica had moved on from Anthony Grant as a CDM, and we have now tried 11 different CDMs, or persons at CDMs, and none have been able to do the job. And so we have to assess where we go from here, right? Whoever, either the CDMs are not either the CDMs are not experienced or old enough or respected enough to be able to command the team, but the team doesn't have a shape. And, that's killing us. This last one, we tried Ravel. And when we come to assess him, I'll tell you, I believe he was playing to instructions. He tried as best as possible to sit in front of the defense. However, that's not his natural game. And he is quite lucky not to have gone off with a red card, because I saw him sliding with a 2-footed tackle that I think he barely got some piece of the ball before the man. And he had me scratching my head. So the midfield is a cause for grave concern. And I'm going to come to the assessment now of the long ball game. It was much to the annoyance of the ultras and all all the fans who were within earshot of me in bleachers as to why we were playing these long balls, many times unnecessarily and not under any pressure. That means we weren't trying to clear the ball out of our life or off it up the field. We would begin sometimes, particularly in the second half, we would put like 4 or 5 passes together, and then Jamoy Topi would decide to just blast the ball over the top. He's the chief culprit. It's inexplicable, and I am certain that that is not the coach's instructions. So now I don't know whether to blame Tapper and Paul Hall, because this is the third coach that we've had in 2 years, and the players are doing the same thing. So we have to ask some questions when we get deeper in there. Overall, if I was to give the team an overall rating, I think the performance was a 5.5 out of 10 at best. Trinidad, I would think they played at 6 out of 10, a little better at what they were to do, because they did not want to concede any goals and give Jamaica a win, and they did what they came to do. They had an improved showing in this game, because at least in the second half they weren't all of a sudden lying down and rolling up and down part of the field like they were doing in Montego Bay, and they made a game of it. And as the second half came closer to the end, they got a couple of scary chances that they could have put away, some guilted chances. And so I have to take my hat off and put it back on quickly to them. So a disappointing game from Jamaica's perspective, but the rivalry continues. Coach Hardgrimson, I could see what he was doing, but I don't think the players are getting the message. I think they might do their own thing when they're on the field. And my name is, when we break down the individual players, I will share more, because I don't want to drag out the thing.
Okay,
But there's one question that I had to ask. There's really one question of Coach Hardgrimson that I really did have to ask, was the non-show of Delano Splat. Because having been one of the 3 standout players in the first game, I wondered how he was given no game time here. And a query about Dante Casanova, which I can put to you if you can answer, as to why we were told he wouldn't play in the first game, but why is it that we didn't see him even make an appearance in the second game? And I stopped there.
There's a couple of things. One, I think, I'm not sure that he got, because remember he came out and though he was on the bench, I'm wondering if it had to do with the documentation one, or remember the team, his team actually didn't want him to play any at all, but they had requested if they could give him, because they just said, listen, he can come and train. I think it would be good for him and sort out his paperwork. But if he doesn't need to, then he doesn't have to. So I don't know what they would have seen in training. My impression is that, one, the coach would have seen stuff in training to say, listen, I can work with this player, or this player need, and he said it in the interview. There are some of the players that you have to keep following them, bring them back in a year's time. There are some of the players, they put on a good performance and they could be a part of the plan going forward right now. And so I think we have to wait and see if Dante is one of those that, like Delano Splat could be one he saw that says, listen, based on what I've seen in training, he's going to need like a next year, and then we'll call him back. I almost feel like Dexter played that long because it's an area of concern generally at right back, and he sees him as a viable option. I think Omari played so much time because that's someone that he sees that can be a part going forward right now. But I almost feel like Splat and the others, I think he's probably looking at them in terms of, when we have a next friendly, we can call him back. But right now for the Mexico game, let me give those who I think I'm going to work with a little bit more playing time, so I can at least coach them how I want. And so though we may not be happy with all that we saw from Omari Hutchinson, I think the coach was he put him on his side for this time because I think he wanted to be close to him, to instruct him, especially on the defensive role that he had to play. Because you notice in the first half, Lembikisa was being beaten a whole lot. A couple of times he even gave the player the inside. In the second half, he and Omari Hutchinson did a lot more double teaming defensively, which is saying to me the coach was kind of, for some reason, coaching Omari on more on his defensive work and role because he has plans to use him in the immediate future. While some of the others, it may take a little while. That's what I'm looking at. But I'm going to hear from Dre, and then we're going to go through player by player. Dre?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, there are two Dres. Sorry, this is Dre Anyweather.
All right, so first and foremost, good afternoon, everybody on the panel. Big up on yourself. People in the chat, gonna turn on the cameramans, but I must apologize to all the Humble Lions fans. Fresh God, my apology. I'm Afro Rabbit in. See there, the official unveiling of the authentic jersey for the JPL champions. Five-star.
No, but this is not a JPL show, Mr. Anyweather. This is not, please.
One
this is
view.
not a JPL show. It's wrong
All right,
show, man. Wrong show.
Yeah, man. Big up on yourself, Mr. Jardine, Mr. Bernard, all of the ballers, them. Big up on yourself.
This hombre.
All right.
Away from the pantries, onto the important stuff.
Away from the promotion.
Big up all right. One view. Oh, there. Fourth place.
Fourth place for now.
For now, yeah, man.
For now.
Yeah,
oh,
man.
yeah.
Man.
Being that on the topic, big up the player who gone on trial for 2-week trial in Finland with the Finnish Premier League team. So that's a good look. Best luck to him.
Nicholas Hamilton.
Nicholas Hamilton. Big up. All right. Reggae Boyz. So yesterday, Mannings, coach's desk, Guna, everybody who played a part in us in diaspora and all those who weren't able to go to the match or watch it on TV. Big up on yourself.
What? On TV? So we think big on TV.
Yeah, man, from the big TV, man, watch it, man. Family and thing, kick back, a thing, Lord, man, of Florida, man. I talk about big up on yourself, man. Much respect, man. Look like we have to take over also the promotion of the games. And we have to take over the entertainment inside of the stadium, too.
All right, boss.
Creating wave, man.
The entertainment boss got banned, you know.
For them to revoke him pass.
Those matters will be discussed after the match because we have to speak about the suppression of the press. My boss, Mr. Anyweather, we were given a pass where we were then restricted from going anywhere in the stadium. Unless somebody had a ticket. The only place I was permitted to go is in the players' dressing room.
All right, so yesterday match now. So there was some improvement from the Trinidad match. I see it, but I'm still frustrated, like most of the fans, them, if not all, with the choice of long ball play once a player. I think it's a get out of jail option that they use to just kick the ball off field when they need to use some sort of creative thinking and make a easier pass. Instead, they just boot the ball upfield. When in doubt, just boot it upfield. Instead of being more creative, played inside, control, turn, all of that, just boot it upfield instead because originally that's what they were taught. That's how the game was taught to them. But we got to get them out of that right now, man. Hopefully the coach instill it in them head, say, look, you need to stop it or it's not going to select you because that's not how we're doing it in training
And then when it come on the field, we need to see it. And I make me look bad because it reflects on the coach too. Because the fans them are going to blame the coach and say, this him have them in a training for this long, this many weeks now, and then look where he come up on the field, and this way I say bag a long ball, and coach I get blamed for it. When in true, him say that he wants to move the ball around. He wants to see the ball played on the ground, and then in the Montego Bay, that's a press conference after the Montego Bay, him saying he wants to see the ball play around and move around on the ground, look for true passes and stuff. But then he said the field contributed to that at times. Now, after this game, him said, the players them using it like when they're in doubt, then just boot up the field. Play the long ball. It's not something that is a part of his tactics. So the player them just need to cut it out, man, because it's not all of them doing it. It's a few of them that keep doing it at key points and key times. And the ball will move around like Cataract said. Then when you look, instead of continue moving the ball reach a certain player foot, him hold on to it, looking upfield, and then boom, one big long kick upfield to forward them run on to, but it doesn't work 90% of the time because of the Trinidadian team, them taller than the defenders, them in a Trinidadian back, and taller than our ball of them. So we need to cut that out. Otherwise, we created some chances. Whisper was a bright spark on occasions when he had the ball at his feet. Some of the times he had to take things into his own hands in the first half. You saw that, man?
Yeah. A couple of times he made some,
Yeah, and tried to do things himself. And it did create his chance outside and took a shot out of one of them. Then he passed a ball, a good pass out of the other one. But there were some bright sparks in the game, but Whisper stand out for me. I'm not sure if he did enough, though, to guarantee a spot in the squad for Mexico. But that's another thing, because I see some striker that we put automatically in the squad, and then people see him on the bench or in the team that played over the weekend. I think it was Sunday or Monday in team play, and him never even up on the bench for that game. So that's another thing. But let's get to the player ratings. Then I see a few things. I see poor touches in the final third that cost us the opportunity to go ahead on a couple occasions. Very poor touches.
All right, so let's we have no friends, says Trinidad and Tobago control the flow of the game, shut down all Jamaican game plan, force them to try outdated long ball. You know what is funny though is that Jerry, you said it so perfectly. I'm going to tell you, like, when in the early stages of the game, Adrian Mariappa, who was a captain, and I think he's the leader of the team, but because when you're at the game, the sounds, you hear the communication, you hear from Wade, you hear from Mariappa, you see the leadership, you see him arranging the defense and all of that. But I feel like what he has in terms of knowledge of the game and wisdom, because he lacks the physical
the pace.
it affects his wanting to keep the ball on the feet and make accurate passes. So when the game just started, he made several poor passes. He was under no pressure a couple of times. He made bad passes, short passes. He kicked away the ball when it was unnecessary. And I remember I said, listen, what you want in this stage of the game is for like a Topi, that you being the captain, you being the defensive leader, control that ball, pass it to Topi and say, knock it back to me, and play with some confidence. I think because even he was uncertain in terms of his passing and controlling the ball, Topi started kicking it long, and Mariappa, they just weren't passing it to each other, started kicking it long. When Ravel came on and King came on, we played less long balls because Ravel went almost like a sweeper, passed the ball to King, collected it, passed it to Topi, collected it, and we made more passes. So this is where I think like a Ethan Pinnock is very important, because Ethan Pinnock can handle the ball. He's not afraid to take it and make a pass, wait patiently, and because he knows if I lose this, I'm fit enough, my physical conditioning can help me get back the ball. I don't think Mariappa trusts his legs to get back the ball if he loses it, and I think his panic play contributed to some of the poor play, because when you're the leader, you have to lead. You have to lead. You have to display the confidence. You have to say to Tope, listen, don't play it long again. Knock it to me. You're under pressure, knock it to me. Knock it to the goalkeeper, and I will have to go.
But
I
Manning,
Yeah.
contradicting to what you're saying, the vice captain, well, more likely he will be the captain of the team if Blake is out. Him play yesterday and start and score for him club. And guess who is the advocacy for the long ball FC in the team around the back? Him coming right in. Come do the same thing. And it's gonna be conflicting with the style of play where the coach want to play and where Pinnock we're gonna see from Pinnock, or we would like to see from Pinnock. So it's gonna be tough. Tough
Yeah.
for our height and tough for with frustration level.
All right. Okay. So Andre, you have anything to add to any of what we just said, and then we'll go through individual player rating from Jamaica and Trinidad. Go ahead.
So, Marion, if we can,
Andre, you hearing? All right, not hearing him. So let's go from goalkeeper because
from goalkeeper.
yeah. All right. The first goalkeeper was Jamal.
Man, before you start, sorry about that.
Oh,
I
go
was
ahead.
on mute. I was on mute. Sorry about that. I have to run, but I was waiting. I just wanted to provide one more opportunity to catch up before I go.
You have gone very low. I don't know.
I've got to run. I don't know. Like I'm having some trouble here on my computer.
Okay, not a problem. All right, we'll talk. Have a wonderful day and all the best. Big up all the persons over there in Trinidad. Nice meeting some of them yesterday. And we look forward to coming to. I hope the game is played in Tobago.
I want to leave you with something for me. Try to work on cataract for me, please. I think he.
All right.
No, son. No. Please.
Andre, when you talk to selectors like Cataract, you can't use those terms. Yeah. Yeah, he's going to oppose that kind of language.
That kind of language, okay.
All right. Because you said you want me to work on him. That kind of language is not
work. Okay, I would like you to discuss with him the importance of him correcting the situation and providing an apology to the Trinidad and Tobago public. I think it's important.
See you at the Gold Cup.
All right, then. So take care. All right, we'll talk. All right, there we go. All right, Cataract, go ahead.
Jamal.
Yes.
Didn't have much to do. 7 out of 10 for me. Couldn't really point to anything. He wasn't kicking away balls like we're accustomed to with Andre Blake, etc. So decent enough distribution. But didn't have much to do. So 7 out of 10 for me, Jamal.
Well, I would give him 7.5, and I tell you why I give him 7. Though he didn't have much to do, when he had to do something, he did it. He was very assertive. Every time that ball came into the box, he corner kick, free kick. He went out there, knocked down Mariappa, knocked down whoever is in front of it, and collected the ball. And I'm trying to remember when last I've seen that from one of my goalkeepers. When last I've seen, the last goalkeeper is probably Ricketts. I see when corner kicks are coming in, he takes authority. The squares are coming in. I mean, the man knocked down Mariappa around 2 times, collecting balls in the box in that game. And I like that kind of assertive goalkeeping. And I mean, like I said, he was talking so loud, I was up in the box hearing him. All right. T-Got, what say you about Jamali Waite? All right, not hearing T-Got. Dre?
Waite, 7 for me. He did what he had to do for real. But like Cataract said, he never had much to do. But I did see when he came out at one point when the defense line, there was a long ball played and the forward about to run onto it, and he did come out the box and have to use him head and edit out about, which was very assertive. So yeah, a 7 for me. Never have much otherwise. Never wasn't forced to make any big save or nothing like that. And I still don't think he will be our starting goalkeeper versus Mexico, even if Andre Blake out.
Okay.
7.
All right. All right. Then we go to the defenders. Mariappa.
Uh, well, 3.
Yeah.
Unforced errors in the first half, and really was a liability. And it wasn't assertive, wasn't confident, um, and didn't provide the kind of leadership that I felt a captain should provide wearing the armband.
I agree. I agree.
Gave the ball away needlessly. I can't point to any tackles or interceptions or block shots. I can't point to any defensive work. Maybe I missed it, but 3 for me.
Somebody said that I must wait until the ball go into the back of the net before I say goal. No, man, I never say goal. I say goal. Oh, my word. What did he do? I didn't say goal, and I never finished it, I said goal. Oh, my word. What did he do? Listen, people, the man is on the penalty spot with the goalkeeper, and the man get the penalty spot a cut. You have never seen anything like this in a football. The man cut out the penalty spot out tight belly and turn back. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, the man tricked me, Jay. We never see a man get a
Yeah,
ball
man.
and the
See,
penalty spot. And the man cut the penalty spot. The man shift the penalty spot, get a rock.
But
And
you have diverted, sir. We are speaking about Mariappa.
when I reach that, yeah, when I reach that, yeah.
You don't reach the part I dance it. You did that early one. What's your score for Adrian Mariappa, Dre? Anyway, though?
Mariappa leadership, parking at the back, but lack of pace catching up to him. 5 for max, average. 5.
I agree, Cataract. I'll give Maps a 3. Yeah. All right. Topi. Maps partner in crime. Play the full 90.
I believe that Coach Marion Gordon needs to be replaced post haste, and we employ an assistant coach from around a jungle with a pickaxe stick. And anybody that kick a long ball, whoop! Topi, 3.5, maybe 4. Again, very criminal with his distribution. I probably give him 4 because he's the one that played that delightful pass, I think, to it was Demario. But wasted the balls needlessly, and I didn't find him very commanding in the air when Trinidad, but it's really because of what he did with the distribution. Much of what was needed in a game when you're not under immense pressure is how well the defenders come out with the ball. I saw him take a whack shot with needless because there were other players in good position. I don't know what is that thing that he didn't do that. I don't know what. So yeah, but I give him 4 because of the pass. If it wasn't, it would be 3.5. We're disappointed.
I give him 3.5. All right. Let me key start right back.
No,
Oh, by the way, we just top it. Hold on, by the way, we just
didn't
top
score
it.
Topi.
You didn't give Topi.
Three, very frustrating to watch, and it's like we all know what's coming when Topi get the ball at his foot. So it was very frustrating at a lot of times. So 3 for Topi.
Okay. Right back, let me key, sir.
Um, 5. Got burnt in the first half,
Yep.
but as you said, the coach made a tactical adjustment in the second half to help him get him some help. Seeing Lembekisa, when I was introduced to him by Coach Devon Porter, because I didn't know, I just thought he was an African brother, honestly and truly. I was shallow-minded, you know. African brother, I played for Wolverhampton. I know him as a left back. I understand he's been playing a couple of games at right back, and so the coach tried him there. But I didn't see him giving me the service in the box that he did in Montego Bay, so I think his game fell off. Certainly from Mobe. And when I didn't see any of those cross-field passes to Tyler, when Tyler was very open when he came on. And I actually think, well, I'm not so harsh on him. I thought if Omari Hutchinson had been put central at Cam and Tyler Roberts come on at right wing, we would have seen a better chemistry. So I just give him a 5, an average showing in his second game. And he dropped off from his first game where I think he was one of the standout players. One of the 3 standout players in that first game.
What say you, Dre?
Played left back in the first game. Coach tried him at right back this game. Think he had a better showing in the first game. This game, I still give him a 6. The last game, he got about an 8. So this game, I give him a 6. There's some passes, some crosses that could have come across inside the box. He could have linked up better with Omari at times too. So otherwise, some that is solid, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Need to work on his. He uses his catch-up speed. So it's like he shepherd the player, and then once the player ready to make that final move or pass or shot, then he uses his catch-up speed to close down the final touch. So 6 for me for Dexter.
Yeah, I'd give him, like I said, I'd give him a 5. I think the fact that he played with left back and right back over the series, he had a very poor first half. In the second half, he looked better. And I think because, like I said, the coach put Omari on that side. Lamar Walker was over on that was on that side with him in the first half. And it made it very difficult. Yeah, man. So I think because of that, because sometimes how you're able to defend is dependent on the coverage you get. I think as well, when he allowed the player to come inside, Topi should have been closer to him. So that error where the player came inside, the centre back on the right side who was Topi wasn't covering. So for that, no, so I give him a 5. I will also say this too. Adrian Mariappa, in the time I've watched him, sorry to go back to it, plays better on the right side of defense than on the left side. And every time he normally gives the ball away, he's not very confident on his left foot, which is where he's forced to play. And I think that is why the coach put on King and moved Topi to play on the left side in the second half. All right? So let's get to the left back where we had the Dumby Holland man, Ricardo Thomas. I can go first. I give him a 3.8.
And I'll go second.
With no explanation.
Okay. All right. So he's the next one who has no confidence when he has the ball. He gives it away. He will work hard and win it, and then gives it away. And then sometimes he looks so very good, and then the next time the man just twists and turn and get past him easily. Then the next time you see him recover and makes an excellent tackle, and then you pass the ball to him and he makes a very silly mistake. I'm not sure. So I don't know how to describe that, but that is my observation. So I said 3.8.
Ricardo Thomas, 1.8. And I'm going to tell you why. And I want to address a comment there. We are asked to be analysts, and I know sometimes I get about myself and when I'm going, I'm a seven spirit. But not because you didn't concede a goal, we cannot neglect the fact that Trinidad got about 3 gilt-edged chances to put the game away. It's not that they lacked chances. So we have to pay attention to that. And they got at least another 2 or so half chances, which should not happen. No, Ricardo, I've never been a fan of this young man. And he has been playing progressively worse as each game goes on. If I'm incorrect, I think I first encountered him in the national shirt against Peru last year, January. And it has been a downhill slide. And young man, you have reached the bottom of the hill. Right down. No, he was a player that sent him a lot of cussing in the bleachers, particularly in the second half. I'm not going to repeat what you said, Manning, for the interest of time, right? We saw the mistakes. He was guilty of playing Tyler Roberts out of the game. He would have the young man in space and free, isolated, and inexplicably either pass the ball back to Topi or try to force the ball into the middle of the crowded middle of the field to Ravel. And when eventually Mr. Roberts got the ball, we will see what he did with it. So it was almost criminal, and the crowd was on him for it because we couldn't understand why he was just not giving the player the ball. Sometimes a simple pass was right in front of him, and he made it a very frustrating night for the left winger. Hence the 1.8. But I believe he is one that we should come back to in 2096 for the Masters League World Cup. I don't believe he can cut it. And he has been given quite a few chances at left back.
All right, Dre?
So this is a player that spent a lot of time with Coach Grimmy since he's been on the island and since he's been in charge of the boys. So I expected more from this player. All I see out there is a lot of energy, but there's no substance at the end of it. No, the passes are lacking accurately. The dribble going forward, he turns the ball back a lot of times. So you would think that by now he should be playing the best of the system because he pretty much was in all Coach Grimm's squad them leading up, except for the Argentina game. But I'm not seeing that from him. The player that I communicate with last season a lot. So no hard feelings in the gradient, but it's just honestly, it was a poor game, and I think you're still dizzy from the twist and turn and shift that he got yesterday. With that said, I give him a 3 for the score.
All right. So that's the defense from the starting 11. We're going into midfield. All right. They started out with a player from your favorite club. One view, Joshua Anglin. Played only one half. What is your assessment of him and what is your score in terms of his overall performance? Your grade or ratings?
Talking to Qatar?
No, man. No. You
You,
go first.
you, Mr. View.
We're giving you the privilege of going first because he's a Harbour View man.
Well, he needs more time. This was his first international call-up with Grimm in a while. His first international game with him, making a debut under this new coach. He played before with Tapa, but he's still young in age. He needs more time.
He's
It's
how
not
old?
an easy position.
How old is he?
21. I think he just turned 22 if he's 22 yet. Yeah, 21 or 22. It's not older than that. So,
Okay.
given that it's a position, a very important position in the team, right now we're lacking players in that position that we have to be playing. Ravel, who is better suited to have a Cam there, but we gotta try out players in the position. Honestly, I think he's better suited for it than Harvey. He just need to be worked with more. And I see him try to keep the ball on the ground there a lot of times. So with that said, I give him a 5, and he had to be substituted because of a cramp, a thigh injury. I'm not sure how serious it was, but he picked it up late in the before substitution. So we'll
Yeah,
see how he does going forward, but we're limited at that position. So I have time for him to be in future squad.
yeah. I think he did well. I also think he did well. I'll give him a 4.5, right? Because I think he did well. I think he did well enough. He only played a half of the game. That is why I give him a 4.5. He made few mistakes, few bad passes. Like I said, played in a team where he really didn't have a lot of support. When you look at what the second half looked like in terms of how our midfield was broken down, you realize him not being in there was an issue. So I give him a 4.5. You know what? I give him a 5. Average game. So I give him a 5. Um, yeah, he's young as well. So yeah. Cataract.
Okay, so we have to give disclaimers, right? Joshua and Anglin from Tel Aviv in central Kingston. I know his mother, but not in the biblical sense. A player who I wish well for. I observed him when he was previously at Harborview before he went off to the USL, and had high hopes for him to be one of the domestic player who would take over the baton from Anthony Grant. But unfortunately, he is no Anthony Grant. And being younger, I would have expected him to have those attributes and add youthful pace to them. So I didn't see much breaking up of the play when Trinidad came through the middle. He did try to keep the ball on the ground, so I'm giving him credit for that. However, I still think the 18-year-old young man from Trinidad had his way in the middle of the park. And I can't forgive a CDM for that. I didn't see him holding the shape and being vocal. So my score would be a Minoya Mada, good, 4. If me never know mama, you'd get a 3.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the other two midfielders. Let's go with Lamar Walker first. Cataract, you go first. Let's see if we can
0.
go through quickly. All right.
I have to drink some water.
0.
All right. Okay. All right, Dre, Lamar Walker.
2 for Walker. 2 for effort. Very disappointing in his growth, in his progression, lack of progression, lack of improvement. It is poor performance yesterday.
All right. So
So
And in Mobi as well.
yeah.
And when he came on in Mobi.
Personally, I didn't think that Lamar Walker should have been called up because he hasn't played enough game in the local league and he wasn't playing any football. He had some accident, he wasn't in a club, came back to Jamaica. That's me personally. But he's an international player, so once he comes, he can sign and can play. Based on what I've seen, even in the local league, he hasn't done anything. So given that, I was honestly surprised to see him in the squad. So he's there. I can't give him more than a 1.5. I think this youth, to me, I think he has a lot of potential, but I don't know if he takes football seriously. I just have that feeling like he he doesn't take it serious. I could be wrong. I don't know him personally. Maybe somebody who knows him can tell me. But I don't think he takes the game seriously. So, but that's him. So I give him a 1.5. What about the other man who played in there? Demario Phillips.
Certainly was one of the better domestic-based players. But first of all, so he's going to start at -10 for that criminal activity. And I have to go with the parliament. I'm not a supporter of the government, but the prime minister introduced legislation for a mandatory minimum. So if you reach the penalty spot and cut the penalty spot in their belly, add to the murder figures, right? And then reverse the hearse. So he started at -10. However, he was one of the most promising domestic-based players, and therefore he would have clawed his way up to a 4 for me, or 5. 5. Let me be fair to you, 5. But remember, he's coming from -10.
Yeah. Let me just say this, right? So for that,
and moments win matches, and moments get you qualified for tournaments.
yeah. Let me say this, right? I think he was one of the better players overall on the field. There were 2 golden opportunities we had that he messed up. Go give you the 2 of them. That ball. Some people are saying that the ball was stuck underneath his foot. Listen, you are at the penalty spot. Toe poke it. Get off a shot. Because up to that point, Jamaica had not had a shot on target, forcing the keeper into a save. In over 100 and odd minutes coming from the first game. So my thing, whether it was stuck under your foot or whatever, at least we didn't even get our shot from that, Dre. I don't know if people realize. We are in the penalty spot. The man is standing in front of the goalkeeper, and somehow that play ended up with us not even getting off a shot on target. No excuses. After that,
and how we love to shoot people.
After that, he picked up his game. There's a next ball that the man had. Oh my Lord! And I think it was Omari Hutchinson.
He made the wrong choice. Remember,
and the man made the wrong pass. Though we created an opportunity from it, if he had gone to the right with the pass, the man would have been straight on and goal. So here's what I realized: a lot of the local players, they can control and they can pass, but here's what: their decision making, especially in high intense moment, is very poor. However, Demario Phillips, just because you work so hard, you work your socks off, you fought in midfield, you're all over the park, I'm still not going to give you a fairly great. I'm going to give you a 5.5. Right? So Dre, what say you?
all right. So he started at 10 for me. He missed the goal. That's 3 points. So I've dropped him to 7. Then because he's a Mount Pleasant player, I'm dropped to 4. But in performance and energy, and he was all over the park. You know, he was a bright spark out there for us. He looked like he was the only one actually playing to the coach's system. I see him trying to press. I see him trying to keep the ball on the ground. I see the coach talking to him when he's off the ball. So, and he has been around the coach camps since the coach took over. If I notice, every camp that the coach call up and team that he name, he's a part of it. Even the Argentina camp. Remember, they called up a camp before they select the final. So he was a part of that too. So you know, he was playing to the coaching system. So I bring him up back from a 4 and bring him up to a 5.
Yeah. Military Guna says he was one of our best players. All right, let's go to the player that some person said they felt like my commentary, I was giving him a hard time. People, listen to it again. I spoke about, this is Omari Hutchinson, right? Because we are in the players who are playing high up the pitch. Listen, right throughout my commentary, quality player. I personally think like he was having a bad night. Coach Mindy and we said this. So I thought the coach would have taken him off the field just because he seemed to have gotten tired in the latter stages, right? He was doing well defensively. I didn't have a problem with his defensive work because when I was commenting on that, I spoke highly of it. But going forward, he was not good. And he's a quality player that looked terrible going forward. All right? And so I wasn't being hard on him. That don't take away from the fact that he's a quality player and the fact that I believe he must be a part of the program going forward. That has nothing to do with it. I think he's leaps and bounds above what we saw yesterday. But yesterday, he admitted it, that he had a poor game. So when I say he was playing poorly, and the coach, I think the coach should have substituted him. And I was with some other coaches, right? The thing is that you don't want any of these players to be turned down by the fans. And so my thing was that sometimes you have to save the players from the fans. And so that was my position, because all in my head is that, oh my God, if he lose one more ball, the people them will start cuss. And they started. So I'm saying that no, and maybe the coach let him play through it in Dre and Cataract to kind of build him up. So I felt like though, in this game, just pull him out, because these Jamaican fans, if they turn on you, it is not pretty. But apparently, the coach really rates him and wants him for the Mexico game. So here's what. He had to play through the difficult moments. And it was fine. But offensively, it was a very poor outing. All right? So...
Breaking news.
Hold on. No,
You heard it here first.
No, Dre, please, let us stick it over here. Break the news after.
Hold on. Is basketball you, sir?
No, sir. You hear it here first from I Am Sure Sports on I Am Sure Sports.
Champions League.
No, you just say it. You just say the breaking news.
So,
what is the breaking
Manning.
news? Oh, that's what
Manning.
What a easy, yo, catch. Let me finish giving ratings, I mean, I can give me ratings yet. Iman.
Oh, you didn't get a rating.
I'm confused, man. So,
give a rating.
But so I would give him, and here is a player who I rate highly. I rate them harder. Right? So for that, I give Omari Hutchinson a 4 for last night's performance. But I think, like I said, he's going to be a part of it, and I think that's what the coach did. Listen, just work on the defensive. Like you almost hear the coach saying, I know you're not playing well offensively, but you need to be covering for Dexter. And he started doing that, and he was very good playing. And I would not be surprised if we play a back three and maybe Omari Hutchinson play like
Cam.
like a player on the flank that falls back based on some of the instruction that you saw. And I think that is what they were working on. So that is my assessment. But go ahead now, Cataract.
3. Very disappointing game.
All
and
right.
as a people side, a man accused me, say, boy, any English player, me just make excuse for them. Very disappointing game, and I rate him hardly because he is a Premier League player and was expected to bring a level of professionalism and a level of eliteness to a semi-pro squad. So let me say, miscontrol of balls, That's criminal. That's not permitted at academy level and at development under 23 level in England, and certainly not to sit on the Chelsea bench. Errant passes, holding on to the ball for too long, failing to get past players. 2 or 3 times he stopped and tried to get past the TNT wing back and couldn't do it. Held too long, and then the man got to double team, lost the ball, was dispossessed quite a few times. Just a bad showing all around. I give him 3 for the defensive effort. I thought in the first game, and we didn't score in first game, right?
We didn't score in the second game either.
No, man, no. I'm just saying. So I'm trying to use if they did well in the first game. I add that to this, because it's a 2-game series. But I think moving from the man of the match in the first game to where you are now caused me some questions, whether it's fitness, what it was. And I want to tell you this: the reason why the fans them didn't cut off him busting short is I think there was a case of mistaken identity with the blonde hair, because he benefited from some of the hard work of Colin Anderson. But the blonde hair, brother, he escaped the state of emergency because he got some credit for that belong really to Colin Anderson because of the similar color hairstyle. It was a bad game. I hope the young man will have better games in a Jamaica shirt, but he also, I would say to him, may pen and a playpen and CONCACAF and a joke around. So when you come here, you need to bring your A game. This is not the land of pina coladas and parrot and shoulder and some little nice Hawaiian shirt and man, I play a banjo or sing Yellow Bird in the tree. No, we sing brr, brr, and please don't give us a performance like that again. You're young. Step it up. Step it up. Yeah. I was surprised though that the coach didn't put him into the camp, and when he brought on Tyler Roberts and put Tyler out on the wing just to see if that would have suited him better.
I felt like I said, so I'm at the game and you see so the coach, there was one occasion he lose the ball and coach says, all right, and he told him and he get back to help double team. So I figure that we could see going ahead on that side of the Jamaican team, maybe not now, I don't know when, Lembi Kisa and Omari Hutchinson as a realistic option. It's almost like he was trying to get them to play together and work together and get used to each other for whatever reason, right? And so maybe, like I said, the coach was making him play through that in spite of all the criticism and stuff like that. Somebody said Omari was trending on Twitter yesterday about his quote-unquote bad move that is seemingly not working to the blue side of London. I wonder if that was on his head. Could be. All right, let's move to Colin Anderson. So for me, I thought Colin Anderson, of all the local players, he probably looked the best. I mean, I know people said he missed an opportunity, but let me tell you something. They kick with the ball and the man just run, and he got in the position. It was a high ball in the air, and he should have controlled it better. But let me tell you something. This youth, I don't know. The man pressed, the man running him really, really work hard. Of the local players out there yesterday, to me, I thought he gave the best effort. And so I am going to give him a really, he's not a player that I've always rated. But to be fair to him, yesterday he never looked bad. I gave him a 5.5. I thought he made Whisper look good. I thought he made even Omari Hutchinson, like Cataract said, look better than he looked. But he really worked hard yesterday. He never got a clear-cut opportunity. And I will say to you, whatever you saw that was a chance, it's just his speed that allowed him to get into those positions. Because I think it was Lamar Walker tried to pass a ball, go way up in the air, and the man just sprint like a bullet get behind the defenders, and when the ball came down, it like he was trying to take it down on his instep, it bumped off, ran to the goalkeeper, and it was cleared out. But he reminds me of Corey Burke in terms of their intensity, their pressing, and their hard work. So I give him a 5. What say you, Dre?
You hit the nail right on the head just now. Remind you of Corey Burke, intensity, hard work, speed. Yeah. A lot of ball was left on the park that could have been played to him by Walker and even Hutchinson himself. He got in and goal twice, but poor first touch. It don't matter the circumstances that he got in and goal, but the poor first touch let him down on those occasions. So I give him a 6, which is considered a high grade.
Yeah.
So, ditto to both gentlemen. Young Colin Anderson. So I have to give a disclaimer. Everybody knows my running battle with Mr. High Speed Chase. I like Cavaliers. So when you hear me speak in this review, bear that in mind. Very well done, young man. You acquitted yourself, your club, your community, your family very well. You embody what we ask for in Jamaica, which is hard work, effort, and never give up. You know, have all the tools, but you can go to Pet Boys or AutoZone or down a Sheldon's or Bert's and buy some tools and keep developing. You are one who if I had anything about it, would recommend be kept called up to be in and around the squad. I think if you are around the squad with a Michael Antonio and learn from the general, you will improve. But I liked what I saw in terms of hard work. Yes, as a striker, you did not put away your chances, which, you know, that's it. That's the job. That's the job. We said, you know, there's a shooter, so you have to shoot. But you did other things in terms of linking up play, high press, and I think you really suffered because of the player now known as Double Blank, Lamar Walker. Double Blank offers nothing defensively and now nothing offensively. And so there were no through balls for you. There were no little knock over the top for you to run on to nada. But you kept working and you kept chasing even lost causes. So I take my hat off to you, young man. And this is in the context where men are like Cavaliers.
You say you gave him a 6?
Score for me, I would give you a 6.
Okay, so both of these gentlemen gave him more than me, because I think that ball that I think Demario Phillips played to the wrong side, we eventually got a chance that came to the back post, that it was blocked by the defender. I think he took too long to kick it in the second half. I don't know if you remember that chance. It was one of the better opportunities we had. It was the same ball that I think Omari Hutchinson, played it across. It came over to the back post and he controlled it. I think that was just as good as the Demario Phillips opportunity, because he had it under control, and I don't know, maybe he lacked the confidence. So yeah, so that's why I gave him a 5. I took away a point because of that. All right, and then finally we have Dujon Richards. He's a final player in the starting 11, and then we can look at the substitutes. I can go ahead. Listen, I think when he gets the ball, he's effective for the most part, especially when he has space. When he gets the ball and he has players on him, especially the aerial duels, he doesn't win them. I don't think he controls them. He's not good at the hold-up play yet. I think he has to learn that. He has to learn how to do the hold-up play when they play in this position. And I think he still needs to learn how to run the channels to create runs so his teammates can benefit. he did get an opportunity where the keeper made a save that he basically created out of nothing. If he gets room, a couple of times he won some fouls. And I will say to people, it is obviously that his teammates have a lot of respect for him. One of the first set plays that we got, they gave it to him to kick. And it went over the top. So nobody can say that they don't rate him, because if they didn't rate him, one of the older players or senior players would have taken the kick. So with all of that being said, I still don't think he did enough overall. And so I'm going to give him a 4.5, just less than Colin Anderson, because I think Colin Anderson worked a little bit harder than him, and both of them had shots. So I gave him a 4.5, but he has a lot of potential. But I think some of those other things he needs to work on: his hold-up play, working without the ball, not just pressing, but how do I make runs to open up space for my other teammates. Once he get those things going, and he develop the strength, so he's not bundled over easily when the strikers are the defenders are coming in behind him. You saw that when Trevante Stewart came and don't want to go too far, a couple of times he used his body to get the ball because he's so big and strong. And I think once Richards gets to that place, you'll see that as well. So I give him a 4.5 out of 10 for this particular performance. Dre, what say you?
Well, speaking about the newly acquisition for Chelsea Football Club, 17-year-old Dujan Richards. From what I see yesterday, 17 years old, playing as striker's first start for the national team, which was surprising to me that he got the start. All right, so a lot of passes more passes could have come his way. The formation don't really suit his style.
Yeah.
So he's not a player that's going to run back deep, although we did see a spectacular goal of the season versus Clarendon College, which that's a one-off, and it will be a great goal over the years, replaying over the years for many to see. That's contradicting to what I see throughout the season from him. I did see him whip a pass indoor, a dangerous passing coming from the wing in the second half.
Played it to the
He did. Yes. So there's a lot to his game. The brightest spark on the field yesterday for me was Dujan Whisper Richards. He got the crowd on their feet on a number of occasions. The Trinidadian players were trying to roughhouse him on a number of occasions when he's waiting for the ball, even before he get the ball. I saw that too. They were trying to be more physical with him, probably playing a mind game, trying to get into his head and stuff. But I saw where his confidence was above the rest of the players that out there for the Reggae Boyz team. So that, I can't knock him for that. He's the youngest out there on the field. He did get a chance one-on-one with the keeper, something that he created out of nothing. So, and then the free kick went way over the bar, but not saying any other player except for probably Ravel could have get that one on target from that far out. It's just a confidence that he has, or he had, to take that shot on goal from so far. And he did bang another shot which whistled over the crossbar too. So for me, not only speaking from bias, the goalkeeper got a 7.
So are you saying that you're speaking from bias and something else? Because you said not only from bias.
Not because I'm a Chelsea fan. But for me, from what I saw from the player yesterday, I'm going to give him a 7 on his debut performance for the Reggae Boyz, 17-year-old, starting inside the National Stadium. 7 for me.
The fans came out to see Whisper. And I'm reporting from the bleachers, where I'm the only person there, based on YouTube. So the fans came to see Whisper. But like Anderson, even under both circumstances, couldn't deliver that goal. Whoever I thought he was a victim of double blank again, who was operating as the cam or on the other side of the wing, really not providing anything of substance for a striker to feed off. Whisper's off the ball movement, though, he has to work on it, and he gets anonymous for good periods of the game. And I can see that, and I hope that there will be improvement once he's at Chelsea's academy and learns some of the nuances and intricacies of modern football, which I am not qualified to speak to. But his off-the-ball movements does need work, and he needs to keep a consistent work rate. So what he has is technical brilliance, good control, good close skills. And so he has what Colin Anderson doesn't have. So I wish they could just exchange numbers with each other and give each other them strengths to build up a whole player. There's one time though that he got booed, and that was when he was showboating, doing a number of step overs around the 20-yard that were going nowhere. And eventually he was dispossessed. So I hope he loses the showboating thing from his repertoire. If Colin Anderson gave a 6, which surprised many, I would have to say I would give Whisper a 6.5.
Okay, so similar to Jason. Jason gave him a 7, you give him a 6.5.
6.5. But I want to speak about that free kick. I think sometimes you have to know yourself. And Ravel wasn't on the field at the time.
No, he wasn't on the field.
He wasn't, no. So
it was
they didn't have a left foot out there though. Somebody who was a good, yeah.
So
I think he was the only left footer. And on the angle, it would be better for a left footer because Omari Hutchinson was standing there, but he was, so.
But it was a poor free kick. He was leaning back, but I mean, his technical things and touches, that has to be given there. So I think he's slightly better than his striking partner, but he needs to get a few pages out of Colin Anderson's book. And Colin Anderson need to look on him and see how a striker need to get those technical things right. But you were saying something, Manage.
Yeah, I was saying that, let me just read this comment because we have like 3 minutes to go. It says, football is really an unforgiving sport. The defensive unit that didn't concede a goal got low ratings. And the offensive unit that didn't score get high ratings. Go figure. So, what are your thoughts on that?
Watch the match. That's my simple thought. Watch the match. Yeah. We against another team, we could have been ruthlessly punished. And part of the reason why the offense didn't click was because of the kind of balls that were being hit over the top and wastefully, the long balls, right?
Yes. So what about the substitute? Let's go through them quickly because we have a couple of minutes. Let me see. The goalkeeper that came on made a brilliant save. I think almost similar, but this time the player didn't go near post, but the player go across him and he saved it. Kemar Foster. Standard 5 I'd give him though. Not anything as a substitute. 2 again. Richard King.
Let's go slowly. We still have 6 minutes to the 3 hour.
Let me just go through them, man. All right, go ahead.
So let us give the scores. I disagree with you. Kemar Foster for me was an 8. The save kept us from embarrassment, and I really would have had to apologize to the trainers today.
It was a brilliant save.
So it was a brilliant save. His use of the ball could improve a little bit. I thought he should have.
Is frozen. Dre.
6 from me for Kemar Foster.
Dre.
8 for
Kemar Foster.
Cataract.
8 for Kemar Foster.
Okay. All right. What about you, Dre?
I said a 6. he saved us from the embarrassment, yes, with that one save, but otherwise from that, he never had to do much throughout the half that the time that he was on the park. So a 6 for me.
Yeah, 6. All right. What about Richard King came on?
Who's going
Uh,
first?
it's a hot potato. I was nice to one Cavalier man, so let me just go back to myself. I don't know what he was doing. Um, a 5, just meh, just average. And he has a tactical indiscipline which I don't like. Coming from the first game particularly, where he just abandons his
Defense and dribbles.
defensive responsibility, and that led to
I think he dribbled one right up to the almost to the Trinidad 18-yard box. I think the shot was blocked late
yeah,
in the
but that
game, and
meant
then
that
they countered. Yeah.
Ravel had to be stuck sometimes as almost like a central defender because he couldn't. You know what I mean? So I don't like that sort of naivety. And he took it one time, yes. So I give him a 5.5.
What about you, Dre? Standard 5, or you have a different score?
It was very frustrating watching King at times. It did bring some sort of composure because of his experience playing in the team at the back, but otherwise on that going forward, making the passes forward, it was very frustrating watching him. He did try to link up with Anderson, but the long ball thing is just frustrating to me. Now I got work. Need to cut it out. 4.
Okay, 4. All right. Ravel came on.
Hold on the Mannings. Mr. Travis in the comment section. All right, hold on there. Go
Yeah,
on now.
you're gonna make the time run out in around 2 minutes leave,
Yeah,
Uh,
man, I could deal with it, not Dre.
Ravel, I thought Ravel didn't want to play in the football. I thought Ravel come out there to coach the youngsters. I don't even know what to assess. I think he was just out there talking and giving instruction. I'm taking a stroll. Like he was just, listen, hey, here's the ball. Just give it back to me. All right, hey, come over here. Go right here. Yeah, man. Stay right there. All right, good. You guys are doing good. I see him on the field like he's there to motivate and encourage them. I think because Mariappa came out, Ravel went on because the coach needed a senior player out there. So his job was just to get the youngsters. When they had free kicks, he went to them and he was coaching them. So you take the free kick and he started pointing, say, no, you need to go there, you need to go there. So I don't think he really actually came to play in the game. He just went out there to kind of control things and talk to the players. So, I mean, I'm going to just give him a 5 because he was just directing traffic.
I
No.
saw the same thing. Ravel was up there playing to coach's instructions, I think. He was trying to bring some sort of calm to the team. Trying to keep the ball on the ground, trying to play the ball on the ground. I see him knock a few long passes that was warrant. But otherwise from that, he never did anything out of the extraordinary, especially going forward. So average for Ravel, a 5.
Grunky. Sorry, Cataract.
Oh, well, I hope that when Stan Kroenke is next here, he will explain what's happened with Ravel. So from Lord Ravel to court jester Ravel, because he's making everybody feel nice. He's playing to instruction, playing in an unfamiliar position, so he starts at 3 for me. He was at 0 for the Montego Bay game, so I don't want to mention that he was literally the worst player on the Montego Bay game for me, along with Staple, right? But he was a little vocal, and here the problem, Mannings. He came and brought a calmness to the team, but the team needed a spark and excitement. So it never needed more calmness. It needed somebody to ignite the team. And for a player that takes free kicks to be handing off the responsibilities to others, I didn't get it. So I give Ravel a 4.
All right. Listen, we need to go through this quickly. All right, Wizard, domestic players, I need to remember. All right, so we have the other players who came on are
Tyler Roberts,
um, Tyler Roberts,
man of the match.
Jordan Fletcher, and Trevante Stewart.
Tyler Roberts, man of the match performance for his cameo. And really wondered what would have happened had he come on a bit earlier and if his teammates would have played him into the game. Didn't make any errors, as far as I could see. Had some lightning burst of speed. I would give him an 8. And really why he didn't get higher, because I thought he made this one gut-busting run and dismissed, burn 3 Trinidadians. But in it bust after that for a little while. But I love the way in which he's able to isolate himself and give himself a yard of space. But the team, particularly Thomas, who I was brutal on, just would not get the ball to him. So he also put a pinpoint accurate pass right on the toe of Whisper, which chance was snuffed out. But I think he's one for the future, and he's one that I think should come back in and around the pool for Nations League, even to see if he can offer anything or some challenge to Bailey and such. But he's not at Bailey's level yet. But, I think he did well. I'm proud of the player. And we have to get him a name because white man can't work. Because, in Jamaica, we are not politically correct. But I think Formula One is what I call him because he really turned on the afterburners. He didn't make any mistakes. Really didn't.
What score you give?
I gave him an 8.
Okay.
For the cameo.
Give him a 6. Should have come on earlier. Need to see more of him. But it's going to be tough for him to break into the first team because the abundance of wingers that we have at our disposal. So, but this performance, a 6 to me.
I can't. Well, I think he has a lot of potential. Having watched him longer over the under 20, there is some improvement. But what I saw in the under 20 and what I saw yesterday, I can't see how in a 24-man squad right now, if all our players are available, he gets in over Leon Bailey, Jamal Lowe, Bobby Reed, Omari Hutchinson, Kaheem Paris, Omari Hutchinson, Ronaldo Cephas. I can't see, given what I saw in the under 20 and the cameo, how he makes the Mexican squad over those players. Who is he ahead of right now out of that group of players? And we're going to
which is why I said it would be difficult for him, but maybe in the pool. But he is playing very well for Wolverhampton,
Yeah, man, but because I
right?
see Ian Campbell is shouting, saying, because it's all in full scap, that's what it means. Robert should be in the mix for the Mexico game. So that is what,
It's in the mix. I think I agree with Ian. The coach can consider it, and I trust who the coach selects.
Yeah.
But I think he definitely that cameo there was really something to behold, and for a player who the crowd in the bleachers doubted, he left with his name held high, and the man then put some respect on him name.
And Jamaican like those kind of players because he was very direct.
Very
Jamaica
direct.
like when a forward run down the flank and a defender, the Trinidad, you come across and bust a tackle. Jamaicans like that. Because, so that brought some excitement. So, looking for, I thought Trevante, Jordan Fletcher, I don't know. I mean, he came on, like, again, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if it is anxiety. I don't know if wanting to impress. I don't know if it was a challenge. Jordan Fletcher got a ball and he had several passes. He's a left-footed player, as far as I know. He was off balance and he tried the shot. I think that just, so again, standard, I'm not even going to rate him. Yeah? Jordan Fletcher. Yeah, but
no, those are unrateable. I don't think they. I mean, I also think.
Hold on. Let me answer this. Ian, listen, you have to tell me what would be your merit for picking Tyler Roberts over Kaheem Paris? I'd love for you to call in and tell me what has Tyler Roberts done to warrant him being called over Kaheem Paris at this time. That's all I want you to tell me. Give me, because you could be right, but give me a reason why you dropped Kaheem Paris based on his performance for Jamaica when he has played and for his club, and compare that to the games in the U20 and the cameo that we saw. What has Tyler Roberts done? Good young player? Yeah.
So while Ian calls it, I just want to say something. Tyler Roberts is not a left winger. So he was playing in a very unfamiliar wing because I think the coach wanted to keep Omari Hutchinson in that right wing position to really get as many minutes for him as possible. So normally Tyler Roberts' game is that he would cut in and shoot and score on his left. So he was playing in an unfamiliar role, which is why I really was impressed. But to say that he would push out Kaheem Paris or Leon Bailey or Jabal Lowe is a stretch too far. But I think 2020, he is in the mix to be in and around, always to be considered. Because injuries come about and those kind of things. So I continue his growth. I wish him well.
Yeah, what I'll also say is that because I think Cephas, I think he's playing in North Macedonia, one of those places. A lot of people not paying attention to what Cephas is doing, you know. Cephas left Jamaica as one of the best wingers in the JPL. Cephas was like a one-man speed. None of these guys, including Colin Anderson, is as fast as Cephas. Cephas has gone where he's at, and he's scoring goals. Now we can say it's not a bigger division as the academy division that Tyler Roberts is playing in. But I believe even Cephas, right now, at the rate he's playing, from what I've seen, is ahead of Tyler Roberts. I believe that. And that sometimes when we talk these things, I think people think like if you choose one player, you're saying that the other one is not good. I am going to go by what I saw of Tyler Roberts in the U20s and this cameo. And from what I've seen of Paris and Cephas, he's not ahead of them. All right?
I don't think we have to berate that point.
Yeah, so listen, I'm not going to get into Chris Smith until you can call me, until you can come on the program and have a conversation. Because yes, when we're talking about, because you're going to say pull up stats on the bench, so why should he make the team? So, yes, when you speak like that, any player that is benching should not make teams. Come on, man. That's why I don't reason with, because you guys have a way.
Mannings, so are you getting...
Wanna, because me just gonna answer this. So I am not. The show is going to end in a couple of minutes, but Chris, I will not entertain a conversation with you because the basis of your reasoning is to say what you're saying, and nobody can tell you anything because you believe every opinion you pose about player, you're right. Maybe you're an ultra like Cataract, right?
Just with the ultra, man. So
yeah. So go ahead. Dre, go ahead. So we're done with that.
Yeah, no, real quick. You're gonna squeeze in a show about predicting the 23 for Mexico before the coach released it.
I'm going to do a show presenting the 23 for Mexico.
Okay, sir.
Why?
Can I go one further, Mannings?
Yeah.
I know that King Kappa was the king of dropping the squads in the middle of the night on Twitter. Maybe put it to the coach that maybe it might change our luck, yeah? To come on YouTube and drop the squad on YouTube. Do something different.
No, man. No, man. All the YouTubers will be invited invited to the press conference where
No,
the
man,
squad
not at the
meeting.
press conference. Not at the press conference.
No. So follow me. Remember
Well,
now.
let me follow you.
So and
When
then
I go there, so the man them act like TVG and CVM are the only media, you
eh?
know, and Sportsmax, and Uno are some little
No man.
boy
So
to them.
no man. Uno. No, you must say. Me stepping on Cataract. But anyway, when we roll Cataract, and we roll. I talk about Cataract, man. We roll, man.
With the roll alone. So the whole we just go bum rush it thing.
So, but what I'm saying is that it can also, so the YouTubers, while the press conference is going on in that setting, they can run it live if they want. It can be done, you know. So for example, the press conference and the coach is naming the squad. It could actually be live on the YouTube platform while they are in the press conference, like when you're at the game and streamed it, you know. That can be done.
But okay, but what I then ask for is that on the day,
yeah,
he comes and has a more detailed interaction with the fans on a YouTube platform.
That's what I mean. That's what I
Right.
mean.
Yeah, man. That in common reason with you. Because every question will be answered because he has to get our buy-in to what he's doing. And sometimes all the questions are not answered enough. They can have a more intimate discussion with the fans to gain also to solidify our support. That's what I would say. And no wait till last minute. Oh Jesus. Do the match. Do the do. Because you know who is
No. So the team today is what day?
Wednesday the 15th.
All right, people. Before the week is out, you will get the team. And unless somebody picks up an injury in the EPL, right? Over the weekend, you should have the team. By the end of the week.
Come see all Wales and name them squad. Only per country and name squad.
USA named there.
USA. Yeah, man. No one up this our name.
Before Saturday is over, you should have it.
I want Trinidad name a squad too.
Anyway,
I hope dead in the show. Where am I playing? Nicaragua?
Nicaragua and Bahamas.
Nicaragua and Bahamas.
Yeah. Nicaragua
and Bahamas.
And look out for the England squad because I think we need to stop discussing some of these players from England on the platform because Gareth Southgate have some spy. As soon as he hears Jamaica talking about them, he call them up. Gareth Southgate, we know what you're up to, you know.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think him have won a farmer reggae boy amongst the FA too, you know. Could be informing to him.
No, man. Jamal Canberra, I don't think he is an informer no, I don't think that. They deal with they deal with what you call it again, the balance, the racial balance and those things and making sure that black players are in management, etc. etc.
Hold on there. Anytime you're ready, we can go through Kaim Paris' stats. This season, all if he's on the bench.
Yeah, man, just run it, no man, and end the show with that. You have to answer.
No, man. You know Chris Simit, but want him come on. If he stop hide behind a name, you need to come on the platform and stop hide behind a name. Seeing that he believes that Tyler Roberts is ahead of Kaim Paris. Because at no point did I say that Kaim Paris must be over Leon Bailey. So don't change the conversation. Or that he's ahead of Bobby Reid. Bobby Reid and Leon Bailey should be our starters. Jamal Lowe is on farm. He should be there ahead of Paris. They're on farm right now. Jamal Lowe, Bobby Reid, Leon Bailey. All right? Who again in him? They're ahead of Paris. No question asked. Omari Hutchinson, you can't prove to me what Omari Hutchinson has done to say that he's ahead of Paris. You can't provide any game stats to show me that he is ahead of Kaim Paris. Good player, very good player, and they could be competing for the same spot. You cannot put anything to me that Tyler Roberts is ahead of Kaim Paris. If you do that, are you going to say to me then, Tyler Roberts is ahead of Cephas, seeing that Cephas is starting and scoring a lot of goals? So he's ahead of Kaim Paris, who is on the bench. right? And it is because Karen Paris is being benched. And anybody, hear your argument, anybody who is benched should not be called to the Jamaican team. That's what you're saying, man. Come on, man.
No, but so I saw something. Mannings, they said no Mikel Antonio for Mexico.
Nobody knows that.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't do them thing, brother. If you put them thing in a chat, you have to know something accurate, man. Man heart not good enough. You better lie down earlier. Low the blood pressure thing, for a year, say, no, please. But man, again, respect to the man them for the live stream. Respect to the man them. I know you invited me, Sir Mannings, but as you know, I was restricted to a small area of the stadium.
Yo, Dre, after me said me agent, because you know, say, me have to move, because you understand me, have pass and me have other important people travel with me. Yeah, man, me have travel with me. Anyways, the man said, man, bam, him need ticket. Me say, all right, bam, me go leave me agent at the Bob Marley statue, because me not in the itching pan the side of the road. Anyway,
let's talk about that.
The man the inside of the stadium, Dre. Me have a man out of the stadium and wait.
No, you don't have a man. You have a what?
the man the outside of the stadium and wait. This man the inside of the stadium. I tell the man inside, the man outside of the stadium, when the game go start, fi go on, wait.
No.
And some other people while him inside the stadium. So the man just end up giving the ticket them.
Mannings, I had 2 dolly. I come in. If you know the dolly business, they can't come in a sun at they go mash up the bleaching. You understand? And they were forward Dre. About the 6:30 bells where the sun come down, they reach. The man took away himself. But unseen me a buck here, brother. And girl, the girl wait for you for duck you. And that I tell you. Man, and furthermore, I have an expensive bill over where place the Alhambra in and come. I have to make them go over Alhambra in and boy, I must order some lobster for my bill. That's no.
Yeah.
But that's the life of an ultra. Big up in March Pen Road girls, that is the way I say. But no man, we have to get it right. And as I said, these were part of the process. We trusted the process. Mexico next, Guatemala. I make us see what can go on for the thing. You see me I say? Yeah, man. Respect to Coach Halgrim's respect due every time.
Man, bless up one and all. Everybody, have a wonderful day. I am Mannings, man. This is I Am Sure Sports. Dre any weather. Bless up yourself. You understand me? Yeah, man. One view. You understand me? Big up to Nicholas Hamilton. I hope everything work out for his trials. All right? Yeah, man. All right. Cataract. Up. You understand me? Ones and alls. Bless up on yourself. You understand me? I am Mannings, man. This has been I Am Sure Sports. You know what it is. It's time to say we are over and we are OUT out of here.
Boom, check it out. I don't know it's Jason. I'm a represent for I Am Sure Sports. For the latest news and updates, check out I Am Sure Sports. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe and share. Jason representing I Am Sure. I Am Sure Sports.